1992, Rob was hired by Ohio Pal Prince to sell a new line of hometown t-shirts to grocery stores. Anderson's team now sells apparel and high school spirit wear to over 10,000 stores across the country. Rob became a partner in Ohio Pal Prince in 2015 and became the president of the company in 2020. Rob Anderson. Our next inductee is Dr. Mallard T. George. Dr. George graduated with honors from UHS in 1969. He resides in Uniontown with his wife, Donna. Dr. George received a Bachelor of Science degree in biology in 1973 from Washington and Jefferson College, and a Master of Science degree from West Virginia University in 1974. He earned his Doctor of Dental Surgery from Temple University in 1978. Dr. George is the founder of George Dental Associates in Uniontown. He is a member of St. George Maronite Catholic Church, where he has served for several years as a subdeacon. He has also served on the parish council, as well as the finance committee. Dr. George has also served as a board member for various local organizations and foundations. Dr. George is represented tonight by his daughter, Lauren George Clemmer, and his granddaughter, Mallory Clemmer. Dr. Mallard T. George. Our next inductee is John Anthony McMullen II. John resides in Delray Beach, Florida with his wife Elizabeth. He is a 1965 graduate of Uniontown Joint Senior High School. John received a Bachelor of Science degree from Penn State University in Community Development and a Master of Arts degree from San Francisco State University in Theater. He also received a Master of Fine Arts degree from Carnegie Mellon University in Theater Directing. Included in his work experience is theater instructor of the City College of San Francisco, Carnegie Mellon University, and Los Menendos College. John's playwriting includes Cheers, Horses, and Drinking Buddies. His novels are The Kirke Saga and The Violent History of Repentance of Vlad Tepes. John Anthony McMullen II. We now move on to our arts inductees. Our first inductee for arts is Suzanne Majeski Smallwood. Suzanne Majeski Smallwood is a 2002 graduate of UHS. She is also a graduate of the Pittsburgh Beauty Academy and began her career as a licensed hairdresser. Suzanne apprenticed at the Elizabeth Arden Salon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For over 15 years, she has been a part of the Estee Lauder companies and the Bumble and Bumble family. Her career has spanned between North American sales and global North American education, all within the Estee Lauder company. At present, Suzanne is embarking on her biggest career opportunity as the Director of Learning Initiatives. The focus of this is to continue gender equality work within the company, as well as the advancement of employee careers. Suzanne lives in West Orange, New Jersey, with her husband Charles and son Avery. Suzanne Majeski Smallwood. Our next inductee is Linda Schanneberger Wagoner. Linda is a 1966 graduate of UHS. She served as Vice President of the Western Pennsylvania Conservation and Director of Falling Water from 1996 until her retirement in 2018. Linda has been affiliated with the Frank Lloyd Wright Masterwork since first serving as a tour guide during her high school days. She is now widely regarded as one of the nation's foremost authorities on falling water. Linda studied architecture at the University of Kentucky and art history at the University of Pittsburgh. Prior to returning to Falling Water as its first curator, she was the founding executive director of Touchstone Center for the Arts. Linda has 2 books to her credit: Falling Water, Frank Lloyd Wright's Romance with Nature, and Falling Water. Linda Schanneberger Wagoner. Our next inductee is Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor. A graduate of UHS in 2000, Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor is a popular singer, actor, and dancer. A member of the Screen Actors Guild, she also serves as a board member for the State Theater Center for the Arts. Rebecca is the resident vocalist at the McMullen Resort and a featured vocalist at the Meadows, the Rivers Casino, the Chartiers and Nevillewood country clubs, as well as numerous corporate events and galas in the Pittsburgh area. She has an extensive acting background and has made professional recordings with the Walt Disney Company. Rebecca holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Point Park University. She also holds a master's degree in secondary English from Penn West University. Rebecca is employed as an English and language arts instructor at Upper Gallatin Senior High School. She resides in Ohio Powell with her husband, Clay, and their children, Clara and Henry. Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor. We now move on to our athletics inductees. Our first athletics inductees are the Muncie Brothers, George, Bill, Nelson, and Chucky. Uniontown Area High School has a rich history of being blessed with great athletic families. The 4 Muncie brothers played high school football for the Uniontown Red Raiders, eventually advancing to the professionals. George Muncie, from 1960, was signed by the Minnesota Vikings and by the Pennsylvania Mustangs. Bill Muncie, 1959, was an outstanding track, basketball, and football running back for the Maroon and White. Bill played professional football for the British Columbia Lions and the Cleveland Browns. Nelson Muncie, 1966, had great speed and was an exceptional track, running back, and defensive back for the Red Raiders. Nelson was signed with the Baltimore Colts, playing right cornerback. Chuck, a graduate of 1971, was an outstanding basketball and football athlete for Uniontown. He was an excellent running back for the University of California, Berkeley Golden Bears. Chuck was runner-up for the Heisman Trophy and was the first Golden Bear to appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Chuck earned numerous awards and played football for several professional teams throughout his career, including the New Orleans Saints and the San Diego Chargers. The Muncie Brothers, George, Bill, Nelson, and Chucky. Our next candidate for induction is Larry Bush. William Lawrence, Larry Bush, 1963, graduated from Uniontown High School and pursued higher education at West Virginia University, New York Institute of Finance, and the prestigious Wharton School. Bush embarked upon a successful career in finance, and he is recognized as an accomplished financial advisor and vice president of Wealth Enhancement Group. Bush has never forgotten where his journey began. He is still committed to his Uniontown community. Bush has held numerous positions over the years, including receiving the Uniontown Area Chamber of Commerce Herman Buck Award, held positions on the Uniontown School Board, served as president of the Uniontown Library Board of Directors, president of the Uniontown Kiwanis Club, and worked as a member of the Fayette County Assessment Appeals Board. Larry Bush. inductee is Frank Rushnock, 1996. Frank participated in several Uniontown High School sports, including baseball, track, cross-country, and swimming. He was a member of the 1992 cross-country section champions and earned 5 letters as an athlete at Uniontown High School, 4 on the swim team, and awards for track. On the swim team, Frank qualified for the Whitfield 3 years and held several school records. His love for competition began at age 8, and he continued with competitive swimming through adulthood. In college, Frank competed on the Washington and Jefferson and West Virginia University swim teams. After earning his college degree in secondary mathematics at West Virginia University, Frank taught high school math and worked as a swim coach at several locations in West Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia. Currently, Frank serves as an NCAA swimming official for several universities in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. Frank Rushnock. And now we move into our team induction, our recognition of the 1963 Uniontown High School Band. We will begin by recognizing Orville Kahn, Uniontown High School Marching Band Director, who instilled in his musicians the will to accept responsibility, present oneself properly, perform professionally, and work as a team to achieve recognition as one of the most outstanding bands in the country. Over 140 band members and chaperones were on their way to perform in a nationwide televised event, the 1963 Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. The group traveled by train to Washington, D.C. on December 27, 1962, and toured the U.S. Capitol and the White House before boarding a cruise liner to Florida. Under the direction of Orville Kahn, the band members practiced for hours marching on the cruise dock, spent time on Paradise Island Beach, and cruised to Miami through rough seas and high winds as the band members constantly ran to the bathroom seasick. On December 30th, the band marched 6 miles down Biscay Boulevard on national television in the King Orange Jamboree Parade. Their picture appeared on the January 1st front page of the Miami Herald newspaper with the caption, "Seasick Band." Kahn was proud that his Red Raider marching band performed beautifully. Those in attendance this evening from that band include Ed Irwin, Douglas Stone, Joel Hersick, Janice Stoneborn, Reverend Linda Jo McKim, Richard College, Larry Bush, Dr. James R. Zayden, Karen Kramer, Jenny Irwin, Bruce Frost, Debbie Welsh, Dr. Ross F. DeMarco, Jr., Terry Mees, Mike Maddich, Mary Eckenrode, Betsy Irwin Sproul, Dr. Dave Olander. And Suzanne Dirth Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the 1963 Uniontown High School Band. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment and share with you two special recognitions this evening. The first is for David E. McCracken, 1970. An accomplished Uniontown High School graduate, David received the National Merit Scholar Letter of Commendation, followed by his sworn oath at Trophy Point of the United States Military Academy at West Point. He was commissioned as an infantry officer with a Bachelor of Science degree. His academic studies and assignments span several military locations and educational institutions including Harvard University and MIT. McCracken held many high levels within the military, including Lieutenant Colonel of all U.S. Army Special Forces and Director of Strategy and Initiatives for Special Operations Forces in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. His last day in uniform completed 29 years of active military service. Upon retirement, he was recognized and awarded with military decorations for his many accomplishments. Following retirement, McCracken became involved with local veteran support organizations and established a nonprofit to provide educational and financial support to low-income veterans. These efforts resulted in the creation of statewide public charities. David E. McCracken. And finally, we honor Coach Jim Render with special recognition this evening. Jim was a tremendous high school quarterback, Division II national football champion, record-setting Whitfield and Pennsylvania State champion coach, and notched his 400th career head coaching win, an unprecedented feat within the illustrious chapters of Southwestern Pennsylvania football. Render's football coaching skills and experiences spread across several high school and collegiate positions, including 7 years, 1972 through 1979, as the head coach for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Pursuing new opportunities and professional challenges, Render accepted the head football coaching position at Upper St. Clair High School. This led to a very successful 40-year stay as head football coach at Upper St. Clair. Render branded himself as a champion football coach, amassing victories, titles, and championships, and molding his student athletes into successful, educated professionals. Render holds the title of the most winningest high school football coach in Whitfield history, the 4th most winningest coach in Pennsylvania, and the 25th most winningest coach in the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jim Render. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you for a final time this evening our new class of inductees to the Uniontown Area High School Academics, Arts, and Athletics Hall of Fame. If you are interested in nominating an individual for the class of 2024, one must have been employed by, attended, or been a benefactor of the Uniontown Area High School and graduated from the high school at least 20 years ago.
Carrick, Tony Anula bringing you tonight's coverage. This game is brought to you live on Facebook from WMBS. Coverage is brought to you as a cooperative effort with WMBS and Facebook Live, and sponsored by the Sprouse Insurance Group, Magisterial District Judge Nate Henning, SWGI U.S. Digestive Health, Joby's Golf, Jack W. Connor, 4 District Attorney, Peach and Pharmacy, Zen's Construction Warehouse, Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides, Fay West Glass Company, UPMC, Rehabilitation Institute, Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke, George Dental Associates, Sandy Howe, Notary Services, LLC, Mike Auble for Fayette County District Attorney, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Reese Warehouse, and Fayette County Commissioner Dave Lohr. Our pregame coverage of Uniontown High School football is sponsored by the Sprouse Insurance Group with your agent in charge, David Hughes and Tony. Uniontown coming in off of a victory over Brownsville last week, 1-1 after the loss in the opening game to Laurel Highlands, but looking to improve on that record, facing the City League Carrick team this evening.
Well, and they had a pretty good game last week against Brownsville. Gary actually jumped out to a 21-0 lead on the first 3 possessions that they had, so really controlled the game early on. And another good offensive performance by Cam Jackson, who went over 100 yards again. He had gone over 100 against Laurel Highlands, so the running game was working for Uniontown. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do here tonight against Carrick. Carrick has kind of suffered early on, allowing over 60 points in both games with 2 tough losses. But one of those things where Uniontown needs to be on their toes to make sure that Carrick's not in here for an upset.
Well, you're right about that, and I know Carrick had a little bit of an issue with practice this week with the heat causing some delays or some cancellation of the schools in the City League, which prevented them from practice. I know they practiced yesterday, and down on the field here this evening before the game, coaching staff going through plays with their squad. It's really looks like a job in progression down there for the Carrick team.
Well, they've got a nice quarterback, that's for sure. Zion Fries was their starting quarterback last year, threw for over 1,500 yards and did a nice job offensively, but just needs a little bit of help. And like I say, they need to shore up the defense, and Coach Jeffries is just hoping it doesn't happen here tonight against Uniontown.
So as we start this evening's game, let's take a look at the starting lineups, Tony.
All right, let's start out with the Uniontown offense. Starting out at wide receiver will be Notorious Grooms. The left tackle will be Elijah Holmes. The left guard will be Leonard Tucker. The center will be Gary Smitley. Starting at right guard will be Connor Hebda. The right tackle will be Kyle Ray. Wide receiver split out will be Calvin Winfrey, Malachi Mitchell, and Najee Higgins. In the backfield today will be Mason Kuhn and Cam Jackson. And starting at quarterback will be the brand new Cornell commit, Kadrian McLee, who actually committed to Cornell this week to play football for Cornell, and congratulations to him. Great to see somebody getting an Ivy League scholarship, and nice job by Kadrian McLee, and we wish him all the best there. But obviously we wish him the best here tonight first.
That's super impressive. Anyone going to prestigious school like that, and also to play athletics, that's good athletics in the Ivy League, and they take it very seriously up there, and good to see that he's going to be headed that way. So let's take a look at the offense for Carrick.
Okay, starting at left tackle for Carrick, and we're kind of winging this one for sure. But starting at left tackle will be Jaden Cunningham. Starting at left guard will be number 62, Davian Stewart. The center today will be number 50. That'll be Jamarian Paris. The right guard, number 77. That is, Tyler Bartlett. And the right tackle will be number 58. And that is...
I got it right here, Christian McMiller.
Christian McMiller, I'm sorry. A little bit scattered here.
The numbers aren't in order. The pages are stapled together backwards. It's a little difficult.
Wideouts tonight for Carrick will be number 11 will be Isaiah Johnson, number 6 Marcus Fields, and number 5 Tyler Turner Phillips. Starting at running back will be number 8, and that is Brian Babjek. And starting at quarterback, as we mentioned, will be Zion Fry.
Also in the backfield, number 0, Stefan Malloy, the sophomore running back. So we're going to have a little challenge here this evening, Tony, with the Carrick uniforms. They're wearing white shirts and gold pants with their blue helmets, but you have the silhouette numbers, which are almost impossible to see. And I bet when it gets dark, it's going to even be worse. But
well, you know, we
do our best.
We got started here, and we were actually trying to figure out the lineups based on who we saw in practice.
I went down on the field to make
and you
sure
still had trouble
seeing the numbers. So anyway, Uniontown coming out now in their home maroon and white helmets, and they're coming from the left end zone into the band, with Carrick still working on some pregame activities down here to our right. So with that, here come your Uniontown Red Raiders. And as we wait for the opening kickoff, pregame was brought to you as the Uniontown sponsors, football sponsors, the Sprouse Insurance Group, UPMC Rehab Institute, Jack Connor for District Attorney, Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, and George Dental Associates, along with Mike Auble, also running for Fayette County District Attorney. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now, that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Draver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group, 724-437-9812. Or go to Sprouseinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed, but it's continued coverage, and it's not available in all states. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance is accepted, experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access at 724-437-7500. So, Tony, coin toss in process.
To the Carrick Raiders. As the captains meet on the field for the coin toss, we would like to take this opportunity to introduce our officiating crew for this evening.
Getting the instructions from our officiating crew out there at midfield. Beautiful night here at Bill Power Stadium. Nice night for football. Doesn't look like any rain in the forecast, but you never know this time of year. We could get a sudden burst of rain.
No, they were calling for a possible chance, but I think it's going to be more north of the city. So we'll see what happens. But good crowd here tonight, especially for Hall of Fame ceremonies, and Uniontown Hall of Fame actually recognizing a number of people here today. And have a quick rundown there on the academic end. It was Rob Anderson, Dr. Mallard George, and John McMullen. On the athletic end, Larry Bush, Frank Rushnock, and the Muncie Brothers, George Muncie, Bill Muncie, Nelson Muncie, and maybe the most famous of all, Chuck Muncie. Special recognition was given to Jim Render and David McCracken. And also on the arts, Susan Macheski Smallwood, Linda Wagner, and Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor. So congratulations to all of them.
That's very impressive. All of those individuals, super impressive graduates of Uniontown High School. Carrick did win the toss, but deferred, Tony.
Interesting. Well, you know what? As we mentioned, they need to shore up the defense. New coach for them this year as well. They come in, Dennis Shore D. Wolford, their new coach. He was actually a slot receiver at Carrick from 1989 to 93 and played at Waynesburg and came back to his alma mater. And he's going to be in his first year replacing Greg Johnston.
Going deep for the Red Raiders, which will be going right to left on your Facebook screen. Cam Jackson is deep for the Red Raiders. Looks like coming out to do the kicking for Carrick. Let's see if we can pick up that number.
We're going to have a tough time with this. Let's see if they gave it to us on the roster.
I don't think anybody wants to kick it. Looks like
looks like maybe David Mumami, number 25.
No one's out there yet grabbing the football.
Let's see.
You got to tee it up. Somebody's got to tee it up.
No,
he's running across now. They're looking for a tee.
Oh, okay. Can we borrow a tee? Not there.
There
it
you
is.
go.
Okay.
Number 25. And that would be...
That's David Mumani.
The kicker, senior, he's wide receiver, defensive back, 5'9", and he'll do the kicking. So we're just about ready to be underway here at Uniontown High School, Bill Power Stadium. Live Facebook coverage from Facebook Live, WMBS. Gary Frankhauser along with Tony Anula. And we'll do our best to provide the coverage that is available with these. Now they change kickers on us, Tony. Come back out, and I think that's Isaiah Johnson now, number 11.
That is number 11.
Number 11, Isaiah Johnson.
They really tried to cross us up there.
I think we're going to have to rely on Mr. Josh Scully, the public address announcer, for a lot of help here tonight.
I think you're right.
Not that we don't need more help than that.
Here's the run-up and the kick, and it's a line drive. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks at about the 20-yard line. That's McLee. He's going to bring it to the outside as a lane, and he's got room. There's a flag. But McLee now cuts it back in, and he's still on his feet inside the 20. He's going to take it to the house, but that's going to come back.
Yeah, you had a block in the back here. You saw it right on the left edge here, right by about the 45-yard line.
No question about it. Yeah. There's a block in the back. So that's going to come back and be a 10-yard penalty. It's going to take it back to about the 35-yard line, I believe.
And that was an 80-yard return by McLee, but all for naught.
Holding is the call against Uniontown. He had block in the back, too, but he had his choice on two calls there.
Yes, he did.
So that'll set the Red Raider offense up at about the 35-yard line in their own territory, but that looked pretty easy on that run back for Uniontown, coming all the way from the 20-yard line, an 80-yard return, but assisted by a penalty, so let's see how things go from here.
Now, he had a little wall there, but obviously that hold helped him out a lot, so you're right, they are going to set it down at the 35-yard line.
Red Raider offense coming out with Kadrian McLee at quarterback, Cam Jackson and Mason Kuhn behind him at running back.
Got
Malachi Mitchell out here to the left.
Calvin Winfrey split out far right. Winfrey, actually, he and McLee hooked up on an 81-yard touchdown pass last week against Brownsville.
Looks like the offside on Carrick. Good hard count on the first play there by McLee. Pulls them off. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Bring up a first down and 5.
McLee back in the shotgun.
And there's a run up the middle, and it's room there for
Cam Jackson.
And he's going to take it into Carrick territory down to about the 40-yard line. So that's going to be a 20-yard carry by Cam Jackson on his first attempt for the evening. Gives him 21 yards down to the 39-yard line.
As we said, Jackson, the workhorse out of the backfield. The first two games, one against Uniontown, he had 13 carries for 102 yards and a 65-yard touchdown run. And last week, 12 carries for 112 yards and 3 touchdowns against Brownsville.
So Grooms wide left this time. And again, it's Jackson this time off the left tackle when he has room. It cuts it up the field, and he's going to run over a couple guys all the way down to the 16-yard line. So that will be a
23-yard run.
Yeah, 23-yard run. So back-to-back huge runs there by Jackson.
Back-to-back first downs.
And they're going to bring it down to the 16-yard line. 2 plays, 2 huge gains for the Red Raiders.
And me tell you what, if it's not broke, I wouldn't try to fix it.
No,
I got a feeling he's going to get it again.
They're not going to put it in the air. I don't think that's going to happen at all. McLean now in the shotgun. He's going to hand it to Jackson, the right side. Now sprinting through there and making a great defensive play for Carrick was number 3. I don't have him on the roster.
No, we don't. Can't give anybody any credit for that. I'll search high and low for what we got, Garrett.
Sprinted right through the offensive line of Uniontown and caused a 6-yard loss all the way out to the 23-yard line. Make it a 7-yard loss.
And
so it's going to be 2nd down and 17.
And we don't have a number 3 on any roster that we have.
So 2nd and 17 from the 23-yard line. McLean gets a high snap, goes straight back. He's looking deep, down the right side, and getting tangled up out there. Now a late flag. Wow.
It was a late flag.
I think he waited for the complaint by Nathan Searock. Might have got stuck in his pocket, as Billy would say. But he was reaching for it. Now what are you going to call? I thought that was just like they got tangled up, but he made the call.
He's going to call pass interference.
That's a 15-yard penalty, an automatic 1st down. Wow.
So after losing 6 yards, Uniontown comes right back, gets a penalty.
Beneficiary of the penalty takes it down to the 11.
It's going to make it a much more manageable 2nd down.
First possession of the contest, 9:55 to go here in the first. McLean resetting his receivers now, slot to the left and wide to the left also. And it's going to be McLean by himself. He pitches it out now to Jackson on the option, cuts it back inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. That's going to be a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line at the 3. Gate of 9 on the play. Makes it 2nd down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
2nd and goal.
Yeah, the penalty actually gave Uniontown their 3rd first down of the game.
So at the 3-yard line now, Red Raiders threatening here early. Coming wide to the left now is Malachi Mitchell. Out to the right, Searock. Look for the handoff inside to Jackson. He gets it, and that's a motion call. I think that's going to be called back. He was leaning forward as the snap was made, and we're going to have that one called back. So illegal procedure against the Red Raiders. So it's a little anxious on that one, Tony, as Cam knew he was getting it. Just kind of leaned forward a little bit, and the official behind the play saw that clearly, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, bringing it back out. And it gave him a 10-yard penalty. What the heck was that? I think they spotted that. That is a 10-yard penalty?
Yeah,
that is weird. That was not a correct ball placement. That is not correct. But Uniontown now 2nd and 11. Swing it outside here to Jackson. He tries to juke one Carrick player, but a couple of them grab him and bring him to the ground. Looks like number 5, Tyler Turner Phillips, on the tackle.
And really, a loss of yards?
How did they get a 10-yard penalty? It was on the 3, and it was a legal procedure, and it went back out to the 13. I don't understand that one bit. Must be new math.
It was different.
3rd down, now at the 13-yard line. They can get a 1st down according to the sticks at the 1.5-yard line, which, again, I don't understand. The ball was inside the 3, but I guess we don't question why.
I guess it's not ours to question.
McLean in the shotgun. Now we got a timeout call. That's called by Uniontown. They were running very close to the play clock. We don't have an actual play clock, but you saw the deep official raise his hand, so you knew they were very close to a delay call. So they call timeout. We'll take a timeout and Hear from a few of our sponsors. Jack Connor, Fayette County's own, is running for district attorney this November, and he's serious about turning this county around. He's going to go after the drug dealers who are pumping fentanyl into our county, insist on maximum sentences for dangerous criminals, and escalating sentences for repeat offenders with clear consequences. Would-be criminals will think twice. Then we can all raise families, start businesses, and feel safer in Fayette County. You can hear from Jack on Mondays at 4:15 right here on WMBS Radio. Paid for by Friends of Jack Connor. Coming out of the timeout now, 3rd down and we'll call it 12 from the 13-yard line. I formation, it's like a loaded pistol to the right of McLee. And they're going to go back and roll right, and McLee's trying to bring it up himself, and he's going to be brought down for another loss. Lost the ball.
He fumbled.
And let's see who has it.
Looks like Carrick.
Carrick comes up with the ball, so McLee with the fumble on 3rd and 13. So the initial drive by Uniontown comes up short with a fumble, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They didn't pick up who recovered the fumble there, Tony, but McLee kind of loose with the ball, having it out in his right hand as several Carrick defenders surrounded him. He just kind of knocked it out of his hand. And once it went to the turf, Carrick jumped right on top.
Yeah, and a big turnover there. I actually thought Uniontown was going to have their way, driving down without a problem. And next thing you know, fumble, and now they're out on defense.
It's an unforced error.
Hey, while we got a quick second, Gary, I want to give a shout-out to Dr. Michael Swerk and his wife Stephanie and their daughters Katie and Anna, who are listening to us in Greensburg. Actually played golf today with Dr. Swerk and had a blast. But he wanted me to give a shout-out to his family, and we'll be more than glad to.
Handoff inside now to the running back for Carrick, and try to pick up that number as he unfolds. That looks like number 0. That's Stephon Malloy on the carry. Give him a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. 7:09 to go here in the first. No score. Uniontown had the opening kickoff run back for a touchdown, but called back on a penalty. Drove the ball down to the 3, had it pushed back out to the 13 on a penalty, and resulted in a fumble, which Carrick recovered on the 20-yard line, now facing a 2nd down and 9 from their own 21. Fry in the shotgun, going to fake the handoff, take it himself, and he's going to dive forward for a nice gain of about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. Give him 3. 3rd down and 6. Fry with a 3-yard carry.
And that interesting. They don't pass a lot. Actually had about 1,500 yards passing last year, but really they did that in a lot of situations where they were trailing and try to get back into games. Let's see if they're going to put this in the air here.
They don't have big numbers over there, but they do have athletes.
Yes, they do.
Coming up over the center is Jamirian Paris, and he'll snap it back to Fry, looking deep. He's going to loft it up high. That's going to be out of play. No one can catch that one. Intended out here for number 17, Ashton Smith. Just out of his reach, out of everybody's reach, and that'll bring up 4th down and 6 at the 24-yard line. Let's see if Carrick will go into punt formation. This could be interesting.
As our colleague Steve Suprick always loves the punt, right?
Yep.
We had to bring it up for him.
Back to receive the punt for
it's going to be Johnson again. So Johnson, double duty, kicked off for Carrick to start the game, and now he's going to be back to
I think Fry's over the center to pass it back to the punter.
Yeah, you got to wonder what the long snapper is going to be like here.
A little high, but he got it back there. Got it away, but it is blocked. And Uniontown trying to pick it up. It's going to be recovered, but that will be Uniontown ball at about the 20-yard line. Snap was high.
Uniontown's number 45, Nick Torbich.
Number 45 for Uniontown with the block, and that's Nick Torbich.
And Torbich really
got in there.
Yeah, came off the left end, man, and really nobody touched him. He was able to get in there and block that rather cleanly, never even had to leave his feet.
The punter for Carrick, number 11, Johnson, had to go back to catch that high snap and just couldn't get the handle on it to make a quick kick of it. So Uniontown will take over at the 20-yard line with 5:34 to go here in the first period.
McLee going to be a little more careful with the ball this time, I'm sure.
Split backs, and now we got a penalty called. I think that's going to be on the Red Raiders for an illegal movement of the ball.
There is a flag on the field.
Let's see what we got.
I don't know. Cam Jackson.
Clapping, yeah.
Jackson's clapping. It looks like illegal substitution.
That's what it was.
By Carrick.
Too many men on the field.
Yeah. So that's going to be
5-yard penalty.
That's the third penalty against Carrick for 25 yards total. Now Uniontown.
1st and 5
Yeah,
at the 15. McLee gets the snap, hands off to Jackson off the right side. He cuts inside, leaps over a tackler down to the 1-yard line. Does he get in? There's a penalty now.
Well, you're not allowed to leap.
There you go. That's the call. He leaped over the tackler at about the 3-yard line and fell to the 1, but that's going to push it back.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
rule.
rule in high school is right. You can't try to hurdle anybody, and Jackson pretty much should have just taken that defender on. I think he could have knocked him over and got into the end zone.
No doubt. So Uniontown, a little self-inflicted wounds here early.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a tough call, especially on a nice run right there. I mean,
that's 15 yards too, I think.
I think it's unsportsmanlike, right?
Yeah. That's going to bring it all the way about from the 2-yard line out to the 19 or 18-yard line. Well, that must have been from the 3 out to the 18, 15 yards. So that's going to make it. I'm not sure it's first down, but they do have first down.
Well, no, it's still first down. Yeah,
that's correct.
But still, that's a huge penalty.
McLee now gives to Jackson inside, nowhere to go, but he's trying to fight his way out of there, but does spin his way ahead for about a half a yard.
Yeah, we're going to give him 1 on that carry, but
good play inside that time. It looked like stepping in there. Looks like Tyler Turner Phillips in there again. Couple tackles for him already here this evening.
He's doing a nice job.
He was helped by a couple other Carrick football players.
Well, Uniontown having a nice time against this Carrick line. I mean, running the ball have done pretty well, but there's times when they just can't seem to stop the penetration by the defensive line.
Yeah. Again, with split backs, McLee in the middle in the shotgun. A little high snap. Fakes it. It's on the turf again, and McLee has to dive on it again. So loose with the ball so far here this evening for Uniontown. That's going to be a loss of about 5 yards. All the way out to the 23-yard line.
It's going to be on the 23, and all of a sudden
it's 3rd and 13.
Right. I mean, having a manageable 1st and 5.
Well, actually having the ball on the 1-yard line.
Well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, you figure they took over the possession on the 20, picked up that illegal substitution penalty, and then next thing you know, now they're faced with a 3rd and 13.
Got to put it in the air here, I would believe. High snap. Back goes McLee. He's going to look deep. Has his man open in the end zone. Goes nice up catch. And pulls it down.
Calvin Winfrey.
For the touchdown. That's Calvin Winfrey. Got behind the defender out there, and McLee put it right on the mark. Back into the end zone. So that's a 23-yard pitch and catch from Kadrian McLee to Calvin Winfrey for the first score of the evening, making it Uniontown 6, Carrick nothing with the extra point to come.
And a nice drive there. We were kind of worried about it, but Uniontown, only a 20-yard drive, took 1 minute and 57 seconds off the clock.
Drive, extra point. Did it go through? No.
And the extra point attempt is no good.
And that was Sam Fitzpatrick, the kicker, who kind of pulled that to the left. I think that's Chase Brumley.
Now that looked like a couple of my drives today. I don't know about yours.
Oh, I couldn't hit the ball for the first 12 holes. And then Finally got it going.
Forget to visit our Football Boosters concession stand located this
So Uniontown will be kicking off here with 3:41 to go here in the first, and gives us a chance to touch base with a little more of our sponsors. Looking for a fast, friendly notary service, Sandy Howell Notary Service, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plate renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and surrounding areas. Open weekday evenings starting at 5:30. Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5. Sandy Howell Notary Service, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve, small enough to know you by name. So kicking off now for Uniontown is Brumley. The run-up and the kick, and nice high end-over-end kick, taking it about the 12-yard line. Could pick up that runner, and he has some room down the left side, cuts it back in. Got penalty flags on this play also, but taking it into Uniontown territory.
That looked like Jaden Wise, I think, number 7.
I thought maybe Isaiah Johnson, maybe number 11. I think that's who that was.
I think that
it's going to be against Carrick, and they're going to push them back.
I know Josh just mentioned it was Ashton Smith, number 17. So we've got 3 different opinions on what number it was.
Well, whoever it was made a nice return.
Yes, they did.
We're getting
17.
Coaching staff for Carrick helping us out, number 17, and that's Ashton Smith.
So Josh was right. We'll give him props. So now Carrick going to start on the 25-yard line.
All the way back to the 25 when they did have it in Uniontown territory. 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Fry in the shotgun, sends a man in motion, swing it outside and try to cut back, and gets the wall of Red Raider defenders, but pushing it forward. Nice effort there to make something out of nothing.
It was a great effort, is right.
That was zero. That was Stefan Molloy, who swung out to the left, and Fry just flipped it out to him. Made a nice cutback, almost lost his feet, but pushed ahead for a 4-yard gain, almost 5.
And actually thought he was going to be
caught
marked down there for a minute, and caught in the backfield, but nice play. Really good effort there by Molloy. Molloy checking in as only a sophomore at 6 foot, 190 pounds.
Fry looking for the call, gets the snap back, and he'll take it himself, and he's going to be hitting the backfield probably for a little bit of a loss. Nowhere to go that time as a group of Red Raider defenders. That was number 4, Kadrian McLee, on the tackle initially, but helped out by several of the Red Raider front defenders, including Smitley, who comes running to the sideline.
Good to see Smitley back. He actually went down in that Laurel Highlands game when we were here, and thought he was hurt pretty bad.
But
knee. But nice to see him back in action here tonight.
So 3rd down and 8 now for Carrick at their own 27-yard line. Snap back, step up in the pocket. Now he's going to be corralled. Throw it across the way and try to hit. Looked like number 8, Brian Babjack. It falls incomplete as the Red Raiders were harassing Fry. Thought he had opportunity possibly to scoot ahead, but the Red Raiders had none of that.
I'll tell you what, though, Fry, you can see how athletic he is. Nice job to evade a couple tacklers there and actually throw that ball away and avoid a larger loss.
So this time now they're going to have to try to get a better snap back to their punter, Isaiah Johnson. Might resort to a fake here.
He's counting. I think they need one more player.
There they go.
Yeah. The punter was in the back counting.
They still got time.
He don't have much time. They're going to call it delay of game.
There is a flag on the play.
Yep. Well, substitution caused that. That's going to push him back 5 yards and see if they can coordinate this. Maybe they called timeout. Nope, delay.
Yeah, they called a delay.
So now they're going to call timeout.
And that's the 4th penalty on Carrick for 30 yards.
So the delay, and then they call timeout. So they're going to have the penalty plus a timeout.
With 1:49 to play in the first quarter, your score.
Well, maybe they picked up the flag, Tony, because they did not move the ball back.
No, they have not. Yep.
So they must have picked up the flag and allowed the timeout to occur. So with that timeout, gives us a chance to talk to you about George Dental Associates, looking for a dentist. Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates of the Uniontown staple has over 40 years experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. So we're back with the 4th down and 7. Back 4. There's the snap again. They get this one away. A nice punt. It's going to go out of bounds, and they've got a penalty flag on the play, too, and that's going to be picked up by Jackson, I believe, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. But a flag thrown out at about the 50-yard line. Let's see what that's all about.
I think it was a hold. Hold on the end.
Or an illegal block below the waist, something like that.
I think the blocker for Uniontown, I think they just got beat and tried to grab the guy going downfield.
So that's going to push him back 10, probably from the end of the play, I would think, not from the spot.
Now they've got it marked on the 41-yard line. So
that's where he went out of bounds.
Right.
But I believe that the 10 yards will be marked off from that point.
And a holding penalty is called against the Uniontown Red Raiders.
So that's going to push him back to about the 31-yard line.
So Uniontown also 4 quick penalties. Yeah. 4 penalties in this early going in the first quarter.
1:36 to go here in the first. 6-0 Uniontown on the touchdown pass from Kadrian McLeod to Calvin Winfrey. They come out now with the 2 wide receivers. McLeod in the shotgun with a fullback ahead of him, a protector, and 2 running backs to both sides. Snap back, give it to Jackson. He's got room around the right side. Gets by the first wave of defenders, and he'll have a pickup of about 10 yards.
Yeah, let's see where they're going to mark it. It looks like he's got
to give him 9.
Yep. I was going to say the ref was right there at the 40. So just a 1 yard short. Jackson already with 6 carries for 55 yards here tonight.
Winding down under 1 minute to go here in the first quarter.
Thank you for your support.
Split out wide.
Again,
number 2 is
way wide.
Yeah, Kellen Milson.
Milson. He's almost on the bench. Handed inside again to Jackson, and he's got room this time. He's down the right side, and nobody's going to catch him this time.
They got another flag.
They're going to be inside the 5 to the touchdown area.
They're going to call it
back at the 44-yard line, and again,
they're going to call a hold.
Shoot themselves in the foot when the touchdown run by Jackson would have been 59 yards or 60 yards.
60 yards, yeah. 60-yard touchdown run. It's going to get called back.
Coach Jeffrey's got to be a little annoyed by all these penalties.
And it looked
they don't need to do it.
No. I mean, Jackson pretty much had it beat.
Yeah, he was past the play when the penalty flag went down.
Right. So now let's see what we got here.
It's going to be a first down, I believe, but it's back to the 45-yard lines. They marked it from the 45 of Carrick back to the 45 of Uniontown, so it is a first down. 39 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
The ball is placed at the Uniontown 45-yard line.
Pretty fast-moving quarter.
So you're going to have to give Jackson only credit for 5 yards,
yes.
even though he ran 60.
Now, handed inside. This is a new runner for the Red Raiders, number 22, and that's going to be Michael Thomas. He goes off right tackle for 4 yards. Give him 3. Sorry about that. Second down and 7.
For the Uniontown Red Raiders from their own 48-yard line.
Had to give Jackson a little break. He's done doing sprints.
Yeah. Well, you got that one called back. Second touchdown called back.
They're going to let the first quarter run out, and that's going to be our score at the end of 1. Uniontown 6, Carrick 0. We'll be back with the second quarter action after you hear from these sponsors. Michael Abel is the Republican nominee for Fayette County District Attorney, a retired member of the Army and a veteran of Afghanistan with nearly 20 years of experience in military, police, corrections, and criminal law. He is the most qualified candidate to be your chief law enforcement officer. He is a strong defender of your constitutional rights, and he's dedicated to addressing crime, drugs, and corruption. We need change in the district attorney's office. Vote for Mike Abel on November 7th because he is the right person to bring about that change. Paid for by the candidate. Nathan Henning, Magisterial District Judge Nathan Henning extends his best wishes to the the Uniontown Red Raiders. And all the other local teams for a great season. District Judge Nathan Henning recognizes that a successful season requires teamwork. It is the result of hard work of the players and coaches and the support of their families. Good luck to all the local teams, including Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Uniontown Red Raiders, from District Judge Nathan Henning, who would appreciate your vote on November 7th, paid for by the candidates. So we're about ready to start second quarter action with now the Red Raiders going left to right on your Facebook Live screen. Facing a second down and 7 as we start the second quarter. Snap back, and it'll be Jackson again on the right side this time. He's horse collared that time, and that's going to be
a penalty.
A flag on the play brought down there by number 15 for Carrick, who implemented the horse collar.
That was
Do we have
Kevin Adahoy.
Yep. Had him covered, but once he grabbed the back of the shoulder pads, that's an easy call for the official. It's going to add 10 yards to the run and give the Red Raiders a first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So we've got a 10-yard penalty.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say it's going to be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. He was inside the 45, almost to the 43. So
right.
That's correct now.
So Jackson's going to get credited for about 4 yards on that carry, and then plus the
Jackson
penalty.
Now up the middle, cutting back, and runs into a wall that time. Good tackle there by number 8. Brian Babjack with the tackle there for Carrick. Second down, and let's give him 3 on the carry, down to the 31.
Now Jackson with 9 carries, 67 yards in this game so far.
Well, they're going to keep feeding it to him till Carrick can stop him, that's for sure. Red Raiders have stopped themselves numerous times with penalties.
Well, yeah, when you get 2 touchdowns called back, especially on the opening kickoff.
Right. Another one that possibly could have been a touchdown for Jackson.
Right.
There's a swing pass out here now to Winfrey. He's trying to work his way through the Carrick defense, but again, nice coverage there out there. Stephon Malloy on the play there for Carrick. Nice defense. That's going to result in a 4-yard loss.
So McLee
from the Carrick 35.
Throwing to now his favorite receiver, it seems, Calvin Winfrey, as we mentioned. They hooked up for an 81-yard touchdown pass last week against Brownsville, and that's his second catch of the night. He's got 20 yards, including that 23-yard touchdown pass.
So now third down and 11. You would think Uniontown's probably in 4-down territory. McLee directing traffic, changing the play. Carrick showing blitz. Now, Jackson in motion, flip it out here to Grooms, and he's going to be hit way back in the backfield for a huge loss. And nice play there.
Another couple penalty flags as well. Let's see what the call is.
That was Fry with the defense that time, but I think it's going to be a...
They're going to call.
I think that's got to be a penalty on Uniontown, but
you would think.
They're going to have to decline it, I would think. You got a big loss on the play. Make it 4th down and they declined the penalty, so it's 4th down and
It's
going to be
16.
The play is a loss of 4 yards, 4th down and 15.
4th and 16, then looks like Uniontown's going to go for it. With Carrick really unable to move the ball on offense so far.
4th and 15. I mean, really, you kind of.
They do bring out the punt team. Wow.
Now they're looking for players too. He's looking for his up back, and now I think Uniontown's going to have to call a timeout.
And they do. Back there to punt was Nathan Searock, and he was screaming for more players, and it's a little confusion determining who was to be on that field. And I think possibly Uniontown was looking at some sort of a fake there. Didn't have the right personnel out there. So with that timeout, let's hear from Fay West Glass. From chips and cracks to splints and shatters, if you need new glass, Fay West Glass Company is the one to call. Fay West Glass has served Fayette and Greene counties for over 25 years and specializes in residential glass installation and replacements, plus commercial and industrial glass. So when that window's busted or that sliding door is shattered and you can't wait, Fay West is available. 724-439-8600. Proudly local and veteran-owned. Fay West Glass will earn your business. So now the Red Raiders will set up again for a punt, and Carrick needs to get out on the field.
To protect the punt, number 45, Nick Torbett.
Little adjustment there by referee fixing a helmet.
Torbich with the snap, and looks like Searock back to punt. Let's see if that actually happens. High snap. Searock does get it away. Low liner. It's going to be caught at about the 12-yard line and some room to run. Trying to get outside and does get a little bit of return yardage there. See who that is.
Punt is returned by Carrick's number 17.
Number 17.
Ashton Smith.
That's Smith
again.
Ashton Smith with the return tackle there by number 55 for the Uniontown Red Raiders. And that is 65, I'm sorry. Connor Hebda. So now we got more penalty flags out there.
I think so.
Talking about something. So he was out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. It's a conference between the referee and the field judge. 8:43 to go here in the second quarter. 6-0 Uniontown. Uniontown has pretty much controlled the ball and dominated the possession, but really only 6 points on the board.
And you're right, they kind of have dominated possession, but not much to show for it right now, Gare.
That's a fact.
Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to leave it at the 26. Now he's going to back it up now. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Tripping. Tripping is a call.
Whoa.
And that's going to take a way back to the 11-yard line.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Wow, tripping.
Interesting. So now all of a sudden, instead of the 26, they're going to start at their own 11.
Wow.
With 8:43 to go here in the second quarter.
Crushing penalty.
Yeah, I know the Carrick coaches right now are going crazy and might have a good reason.
Yeah. I mean, some stuff like that, I mean, it's hard to see from where we're at, but I think it's hard to see from where the officials are at, too.
Yeah.
Run up the middle and minimal gain that time by the tailback for Carrick. That's Stephon Malloy. Number 72 on the tackle for the Red Raiders. Looks like getting in there was Kyle Ray. And also Smitley on that nose tackle position. Second down and 10. No gain on the play. Fry goes to the sideline to get the play. He's going to convey it to his compatriots, but this is going to be another delay situation as I see it.
It's going to be close. Referee counting it out now, almost like a boxing judge. Yeah, and there it is. They're going to call a timeout.
That's their second timeout with 7:52 to go here in the second. It's still Uniontown 6, Carrick nothing. And that'll allow us to hear from UPMC Rehabilitation Institute here in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. They offer cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance is accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location, hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access at 724-437-7500. Vince Facilities, the Fayette County Commissioner Vince Facilities, salutes all who work so hard to keep high school football an important part of our lives. A great amount of effort, much of it behind the scenes, goes into putting a team on the field, and a lot of teamwork occurs when elected officials produce positive outcomes in our communities. On Election Day, let's keep Vince Facilities and his team moving us forward. Vince Facilities at work, building Fayette County's future, paid for by the friends of Vince Facilities. Carrick coming out of the timeout, facing a second down and 10. Unable to coordinate things on that second down play, had to take a timeout. So Fry will be in the shotgun with a deep tailback. He's going to roll right, looking, and he's going to try to cut it up, and he's going to be caught in the backfield for a loss. See who that was back there.
I think that was Torbage, I think.
And making the stop for the Uniontown Red Raiders in the backfield is number 45, Nick Torbage.
It was Torbage.
The result of the play is
a loss of 6, bringing up third down. It looks like 17 to me.
Yeah, it's a loss of 6. So now Fry really's got to be careful now. Not a lot of room
in his end zone now.
Got to watch for a high snapper.
With 7:12 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, watch for a high snapper. Better get out of there pretty quickly.
Now they're
going to have to bring somebody else in.
Personnel again. It could be another delay situation.
Now the ref's there. He's counting it out now.
They're going to let it go, I believe. Yep, back goes, and he's getting caught in the end zone. That's going to be a safety. Wow.
Fumble on the play. Fumble forced by Uniontown's number 45, Nick Torbage.
Was that a fumble and a touchdown, Tony? I think they called it safety, didn't they?
I thought it was a safety. Coach Jeffries, I think, is actually looking for a touchdown. We're going to see what happens here. Might have to check with Billy.
I think Torbage.
Oh, they didn't. They said he got out. Okay.
I think Uniontown might have recovered a fumble.
Oh, wow. Yes, they did.
I think that's what the call is. And it's hard to see from where we're at, but according to the PA announcement, it looks like Torbage recovered a fumble at the 1 yard line.
Looks like
and that's what happened. So Uniontown will be at point-blank range here with 6:42 to go. Fumble on the play there by the quarterback Fry, trying to get out of the end zone. Had it knocked out of his hands. I'm sure we'll be able to run that back on Facebook Live and see it again.
I know Billy got it.
So McClee hands off to Jackson, and he's just going to plow his way into the end zone for the Uniontown touchdown. So 1 yard run by Jackson. Finally a touchdown that counts for Jackson.
Yeah. After all the work he's done
1 yard
earlier.
score that was set up by the fumble recovery by Carrick at 6:36 to go here in the second. Gives the Uniontown Red Raiders a 12-0 lead with the kick to come. This is Brumley, I believe, with the extra point attempt. Again, Carrick with the situation of not knowing the personnel. Brumley with the kick. This one's up and through. So that one's good, and it adds on to the Red Raider lead, making it 13-0 with 6:36 to go here in the second. As we prepare for the kickoff, Dr. Frazier Stokes from U.S. Digestive Health in Uniontown and his partners, Dr. Fred Ruthart, Chuck Calabrese, Mark Hoppy, and their entire USDH team want to wish all our local high school athletes an outstanding season on the fields, courses, and courts. For any digestive problems or just to schedule a preventative screening colonoscopy, please call them at 724-437-7677. Uniontown, the beneficiary of a gift there, Tony.
That's exactly right. You got to give the defense a lot of credit. Actually had Zion Fry for a couple losses in a row, and that would result in a fumble and a quick touchdown for Uniontown on a one-play, 1 yard drive.
The kickoff for the Uniontown Red Raiders following the successful extra point attempt, number 19, Sam Fitzpatrick.
So Fitzpatrick going to boot this one away.
He's got a low liner. No, high kick that falls at the 30, I'm sorry. And trying to get around the outside. Has some room out there. Going to cut it up and get inside or just outside the 45-yard line. So a nice field position. Brian Babjack on the return.
And a nice return, actually about an 18-yard return for him. So good starting field position for Carrick at their own 48.
Day, yes.
Yep. So 6:27 to go. And Carrick looking to get on the board here. Down 13-0.
Just need to get organized, I think, a little bit. And
they really
use their athletic ability to push it down the field.
They really have not played a bad game at all. I mean, just a couple, a turnover here, and penalties have been really crucial against them.
That's for sure. Fry now will hand off on the inside handoff, and there's no room. Ooh, coming up with a big hit on the play there was number 5. And that's David
Ranito.
Ranito with the big hit. No gain on the play coming up from his linebacker position. Just an outside right linebacker. Sniffed that out and ran right through the ball carrier.
Sure did. I was going to say I didn't catch the number on the carry. I don't know. Did you catch that, Gary?
I think that was
number 5. I think that was Phillips, wasn't it?
I think you're right. Yes. So Fry repositioning his players, trying to get them in the right spot. Sends a man in motion. Pass out now. Quick screen to the right. And there's some room and some
He's gone.
Space. He could go.
He is going to go.
That's going to be a 51-yard pass for the Carrick squad. Late here in the second quarter, we don't see any flags. 52-yard pass on a quick screen right. Trying to pick up who that was out there.
It was Ashton Smith.
Ashton Smith, and once he got past that first wave of Raider defenders, there was no one catching him. And that's going to bring the Carrick squad to within 7 at 13-6. Looks like they're going to go for 2 as they try to get organized here for the extra point.
And a nice quick pass, and really Ashton Smith. You talk about speed.
That was just out of a cannon.
That was impressive.
So now we get Fry in the shotgun for the 2-point attempt.
Smith.
Man in motion again. Might run the same play. Now it's going to be Fry himself. He's going to go up the middle and score. The C just opened there on the left side of the line, and Fry just ran it right in from 3 yards out for the 2-point conversion, making it 13-8 with 5:18 to go here in the second. Lightning struck there for Carrick.
We got ourselves a ball game.
As we come out of that touchdown and extra points, Zen's Construction Warehouse is ready to update your home and find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. They'll answer your questions and get you started on your next home project. Conveniently located at 484 Walnut Hill Road in Continental, Pennsylvania. Zen's open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. For more information, call 724-366-8274 or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse Facebook page. Zen's Construction Warehouse, their surplus is your savings. So that was impressive, Tony. Little pitch out to the right, quick screen, caught the Red Raiders with limited defenders out in that vicinity, and once he got past the first wave, it was no catching.
No. I mean, he basically just outran everybody on that defense. Just what speed was impressive. Fry now two for 4 passing for 56 yards in that touchdown.
Isaiah Johnson will do the kicking for Carrick. Here's the run up and the kick, and they're going to keep it short this time, and that's going to be taken right there. It looks like McLee.
Yep.
He's going to try to get around the right side.
Nice
and
block.
Has some room, but he's going to cut it back again. Still on his feet at about the 43-yard line and coming from behind to make the tackle. Looked like number 9. That was Matthew Thomas on the tackle for Carrick. McLee, just shifty as he always is, made people miss. There was a couple good blocks, but once he tried to cut it back on that last attempt, he was caught from behind.
23-yard return by McLee. And as we said, committed earlier this week to Cornell. That last drive for Carrick, 2-play drive, only took 1:09 off the clock. 52-yard pass from Fry to Smith.
So McLee will be in the backfield here. Now to his right, he has deployed, it's like number 45, Torbich now, with Jackson deep in the eye. It's going to be Jackson now trying to take it around the left side. He's caught by the shirt tail and be pushed back by 3 Carrick defenders. Led there by Zion Fry.
No gain on the play.
Jackson
So
held for no gain.
So it's the Carrick Raiders
Yes.
and the Uniontown Red Raiders. So no gain on that play. We'll give him 1.
Yeah, these two teams played last year too, Garen.
A couple times.
Yeah, played twice, and Uniontown with 2 wins last year.
4:25 on a running clock here in the second quarter. Uniontown trying to add on here before halftime, facing a 2nd and 9. Little confusion now with McLee. Again, twin backs. Going to go straight back and look deep. He's trying to get it deep to Torbich, and it's going to be wide open, but he's out of bounds.
Wow. Carrick dodged a
That
bullet
was
right
Malachi
there.
Mitchell, I'm sorry, down the right side and wide open. They let him go after it looked like McLee was going to run, but saw him at the last minute, but threw it out of bounds where no one could catch it. That brings up 3rd and 9.
He had him wide open, just really tried to throw off the run, and the ball kind of looked like it sailed on him a little bit and went out of bounds. I mean, if not.
There's no wind out there, so
no,
you can't put any emphasis on that.
Yeah, just one of those things. He wishes he had that one back.
3rd down and 9. Sends Winfrey far out to the left, along with number 3, Searock, and Malachi Mitchell trips left, and now they're going to have a penalty. That's Grooms, I think.
Yeah, well, that was one of those things where a couple guys from Uniontown jumped offside at the same time. So now that's going to make it now.
Really,
3rd and 14.
Really difficult for a coach to coach that whenever it's basically a silent count. When McLeod feels like he wants the ball, he just says, give me the ball. So no one should be moving early. And there's a deep pass now, and that's going to be knocked away nicely. Good defense that time by Zion Fry. Intended for Mitchell, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 14, and punting situation for the Red Raiders as Brumley comes out to do the snapping, I believe, or is that Smitley?
I think Smitley's a long snapper.
Yeah.
But nice play there by Zion Fry, really doing everything on both sides of the ball for Carrick.
Yep.
Pretty nice looking defensive back as well. Searock into punt. And again.
Everyone counting players.
Yep.
Might see Carrick go for a block here. Searock off the side of his foot and out of bounds. That's not going to be more than a 10-yard punt. From all the way up to the 50-yard line.
Yep.
No.
You were right, Gary, right off the bat. 10-yard, now 11-yard punt.
Just off the side of his foot, and that's going to set up Carrick 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Still 3:45 to go here in the second. Might see that quick screen again.
I would not doubt it. Uniontown better watch on the outside there. If they see 17 Smith over that way, which he is, he's in the same spot.
Twin receivers to both sides this time. So Fry will survey the situation and see what he can get going here. Redeploys his running back to his left. Takes the snap straight back, and there's going to be a slant pattern and good catch. And again in the open field with speed down the right side. They're not going to catch him again. He's going to go for the touchdown. Quick post pattern. And let's see who that was.
That was Smith again.
Smith, they faked like he was going to get the quick screen, did a quick post pattern, just kind of settled himself into the open area around the 35-yard line, and then cut it to the outside, and again outruns the Red Raider defense to the end zone for the Carrick touchdown to take the lead at 14-13 here at 3:32 to go here in the second with the 2-point conversion to come.
Another quick strike. Again, good field position for Carrick.
Yeah.
One play drive. Only took 13 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. So let's see what they try again on this 2-point conversion. Might be the same play that Fry had last time. He's going to fake it and roll right. Has a man open at the 3-yard line, but a
nice
good tackle there by the Red Raider defense. 2-point conversion fails, but the Carrick Raiders take the lead at 14-13 with 3:32 to go here in the second quarter. Surprise, surprise.
Carrick has to be extremely pleased on these last two offensive sets. And again, Ashton Smith, I mean, what kind of speed. Whoa. Wow. That's impressive. Can't say that enough.
Lining up for the kick. Peach and Pharmacy would like to have if you would like to have the Peach and Pharmacy experience, you pull up, walk up, a short distance to the counter, wait a very short time for your prescription, ask questions, and still pay the same copay as you would at large chain stores. Experience this at Peach and Pharmacy inside the Peach and Market in downtown Connellsville. They also offer the lowest cost available, free prescription delivery, and an app to manage your prescriptions. Visit Peach and Pharmacy or online at peachandpharmacy.com. Jim Capuzzi in charge.
Our man Jimmy.
Here's the run-up and the kickoff. And again, it's going to be a short kick, and they got to pick it up. The Red Raiders fall on it, but it goes out of bounds while they kind of push it out of bounds, and that's a penalty.
I'm not so sure.
Let's see what the penalty flag is for it. I thought the Red Raiders, they waved it off.
I was going to say because they touched it.
Red Raiders touched it and knocked it out of bounds. So they're going to have First and 10 at about the 32-yard line. Let's see where they mark it.
The flag is picked up, and Uniontown will begin this drive. First and 10 from their own 32-yard line.
So Uniontown now
looking for some spark in their offense now after seeing the Carrick Raiders take the lead here late in the second quarter.
They need to put together a drive and really, hopefully, run out the clock in this first half and score before the half.
I don't think you want to put the ball back in Carrick's hands.
No, I would not. I mean, obviously, they found a weapon
Sure
in
did.
Ashton Smith.
So McClee will be in the shotgun. Two running backs to each side. Slow snap, and this is going to be a handoff to Jackson, and he's going to weave his way through and gets through a few arm tackles by Carrick and ends up with an about 11-yard run.
So nice run there by Jackson, yeah.
By Jackson. Clock will continue to run now with 3:10 on a running clock. Coming in with the play for Red Raiders, Nathan Searock. He's going to replace Notorious Grooms.
Jackson now 12 carries, 79 yards in that 1-yard touchdown plunge.
So two receivers to the left, one to the right, and it's going to be a handoff again to Jackson. He's going to cut it up the field, and good gain on first down of about 4 yards.
And the ball carrier for Uniontown is Kev Jackson. Gain of 4 yards on the play will bring up second down.
Second down and 6 yards to go. Really having a hard time seeing any of the Carrick numbers now.
Yeah.
With the,
we had trouble when the sun was out.
Yeah. We'll try to do our best.
We're trying. We're just trying to make Brian and Sue proud of us, right?
2nd and 6. Trying to pull him off, double count. Now Jackson around the right side. He's hit way in the backfield by several.
Jackson, the ball carrier for Uniontown. Tackle for Carrick made.
That looked like number 3.
Isaiah Johnson.
And number 3, which we don't have. What's number 3's name, guys?
They're not listening to us.
Coach, what's number 3's name? Tymere Beasley, we're told, Tony.
Okay. Let's see here if he's... Oh, okay, so he switched. He was actually number 28 on the roster. So now he's number 3.
So 3rd down and 10 now for Uniontown, all the way back inside their own territory at the 43-yard line. Back goes McClee, looking. He's going to run it now. He's got some room. He needs to make one man miss, but goes out of bounds. But it looks like he does have the first down at the 44-yard line inside Carrick territory and stops the clock with 1:09 to go here before halftime.
Yeah, but more importantly, pick that first down up. That's the 7th first down tonight so far for Uniontown. And a nice run there. I mean, McClee, a little high-stepping too, yeah. But able to pick up, 11 on that play?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So clock stopped with 1:09 to go. We have twin receivers to both sides. Looks like might have been lined up offside, but a good rush now but McClee rolls out away from it. He's going to throw it downfield, has a man open. It looks like Jackson.
That's Grooms, I think.
And Adrian McLee's pass is complete to number 28.
It is Notorious Grooms, and that's going to be down to the 25-yard line, again out of bounds, stopping the clock with 58 seconds to go.
58 seconds remain in the half.
Just 11 seconds off the clock on that play.
Yeah, but a 19-yard catch by Grooms.
First of the night, nice pass and catch. Good maneuvering there by McClee to avoid the rush. Like a corner blitz there by Carrick, coming from the right side of the defense. Now McClee's going to talk to Jackson, and got to believe he's going to be involved in this play. McClee calls for the play. Now he goes back, and that ball's on the turf. Jackson picks it up. But nice tackle there by
Fumble on the play, recovered
Beasley.
by Uniontown's Cam Jackson. Tackle made for Carrick by number 3, Tyler Beasley.
He was fortunate.
Timeout, Uniontown, as the clock was running with 44 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 11 when we come back to action. Dave Lohr wants to remain your Fayette County Commissioner. Commissioners have come and gone, but real change came when Dave Lohr was elected Fayette County Commissioner. Dave left politics at the door to focus on what's best for the people of Fayette County. The county is changing from here at home to Pittsburgh to Harrisburg to Washington. They are noticing things are looking up for Fayette County, and businesses are noticing too, and that's good for everyone. Keep Dave Lohr your Fayette County Commissioner. Use paid for tag for, and this is paid for by the Commissioner, David Lohr. Sorry. Where can you go these days and have your gas pumped for you, your oil checked, windshields cleaned? Joby's Golf, that's where. Joby's Golf is conveniently located at the corner of Fayette and Beeson Boulevard. Joby's Golf is a fast, friendly, full-service gas station that has been serving the Uniontown area for over 49 years. Joby's Golf offers lockout services, a fenced-in storage lot, and is a AAA 24-hour car and light truck towing service. Call 724-438-0681. Here's Uniontown now with a 2nd and 11. McLee has a man deep in the end zone and pulled down. What a jumping catch there made by number 7, Malachi Mitchell.
And Malachi Mitchell.
26-yard catch.
And Malachi threw the ball straight up in the air, so now it's going to be a penalty.
Oh, my.
And they should count the score.
As we welcome in bonus coverage on WMBS, Tony, as Uniontown scores from 26 yards out on the pass from McLee to Mitchell. But another silly penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Red Raiders. Red Raiders will get the touchdown, I believe.
Yes.
So that will make it 19-14. Red Raiders getting the lead with 37 seconds to go here in the second. I think they're going to take the penalty on the kickoff, Tony.
Oh, you can't blame them.
So in for the extra point is Brumley. Snap a little high. Brumley with the kick and gets it through. No, I'm sorry, wide left.
The extra point is no good.
So with the touchdown by the Uniontown Red Raiders with 37 seconds to go here in the half, it's now Uniontown 19 and Carrick 14. Good ball game so far here, Tony.
It's interesting. I tell you what, we back and forth action here.
Both teams having some penalties and some confusion on personnel, but the Uniontown Red Raiders have gained big chunks on a lot of plays, shot themselves in the foot several times with penalties. But then on the Carrick side, we saw huge plays on the passes from Zion Fry to the speedy wide receiver for Carrick, who has scored 2 touchdowns just running away from Uniontown Red Raider defenders. So with 37 seconds to go, Uniontown probably would be best served by putting this ball on the ground from the kick after the penalty is going to be marked off. That's going to be 15 yards back to the 25-yard line. So potential good field position for Carrick.
Coach Jeffries has to be bent out of shape about that, and you can't blame him. I mean, scored a touchdown, throw the ball in the air as high as you can, and get called for 15 yards. And right now,
yeah, he made a nice play, but act like you were there.
Yeah, and you really don't want to give Carrick good field position. We saw that the last 2 times. Started out on their own 48 and their own 50, and a quick strike offense for them. And still with 37 seconds to go, a lot of time.
And a little roller, and that's going to be picked up at about the 45-yard line. Another quick maneuver there by the Carrick return man gets it around the right side. And can we recap things for the scoring for our WMBS listeners who are joining us now, Tony?
Well, you had Uniontown scoring on a touchdown pass from Kadrian McLee of 23 yards to his now favorite wide receiver, Calvin Winfrey. That was a 3-play, 20-yard drive took a minute and 57 seconds off the clock. Uniontown fortunate enough to get a fumble and score on a 1-yard plunge by Cam Jackson. And on the Carrick end, Carrick, as we said, 2 quick strike touchdown passes, a 52-yard pass from Zion Fry to Ashton Smith, and then a 50-yard touchdown pass again from Fry to Ashton Smith.
He's going to go deep again. This time it's going to be intercepted by Jackson back at his own 10-yard line, and he's going to try to bring it back. He's back in Red Raider territory, weaving his way through, trying to find some room, still on his feet, all the way out to the 46-yard line. So that was about a 44-yard return of the interception.
And we also have a flag on the field.
Let's see what that is. I'm sure that if the Red Raiders have a penalty in their possession, what do we have? Oh, it's against the Red Raiders again.
It's going to be interesting to see what they call here.
And the penalty is against the Uniontown Red Raiders.
Getting a score from Laurel Highlands. Kiski leading the Mustangs 14-7 at halftime. So that's going to push it back and eliminate the great position. I think roughing the passer is the call.
I'm not sure of that. I'm looking for a signal here. We haven't seen one yet.
So Carrick's going to get the ball back. That's the signal that I saw from the official. We got roughing the passer on Uniontown. So that's going to eliminate the interception and give Carrick the ball inside the 35 to about the 31-yard line. Wow. What a turn of events there, Tony.
No kidding, and 8 seconds to go here. So now the defense going to have to stiffen up.
And not sure what's going on. Has somebody called timeout? I think somebody had to call timeout. They're both, well, no, here they come out now. Both teams were on the sideline. The coaches are out on the field now explaining things to their squad. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Carrick with 8 seconds to go at the 31-yard line. You would think they would only have time for one play. That's a high snap and up the middle and with some room, carrying it down to the 25-yard line. Fumble. Uniontown will recover as time runs out. So no damage there by the fumble as it rolls inside the 20-yard line. We'll go to halftime here at Bill Power Stadium with Uniontown leading Carrick 19-14. You're watching Facebook Live with WMBS. We'll be back with the halftime statistics here as soon as Tony can put that all together. Gives us a chance to hear from a few more of our sponsors. First Federal Savings Loan of Greene County, saving as easy as 1, 2, 3 with an education club savings account at First Federal Savings Loan Association of Greene County. Your future dreams will start adding up. Plus, you can qualify for a scholarship upon high school graduation. Visit any First Federal branch to start saving today. For more information on account rules and scholarship eligibility, visit firstfederalofgreene.com. Best wishes to our local teams from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Equal Housing Member FDIC.
The Uniontown Red Raider Marching Band.
Michael Wobble is the Republican nominee for Fayette County District Attorney, a retired member of the Army and a veteran of Afghanistan with nearly 20 years of experience in military police, corrections, and criminal law. He is the most qualified candidate to be your chief law enforcement officer. He is a strong defender of your constitutional rights, and he's dedicated to addressing crime, drugs, and corruption. We need change in the district attorney's office. Vote for Mike Auble on November 7th because he is the right person to bring about that change. Paid for by the candidate, Mike Auble. Our halftime statistics are going to be brought to you by Peach and Pharmacy. And Tony will have those here in a few minutes.
I'm trying quickly here.
No, take your time. We'll go through a few more sponsors here. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Insurance Rate Lock that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Draver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group at 437-9812. That's 724-437-9812. Or go to SprouseinsuranceGroup.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. Continued insurance coverage is not available in all states. Bill Gerke, Mayor Bill Gerke of Uniontown, wishes all of our local students a great start to the school year and our student athletes a great fall season. Mayor Gerke would also like to wish Uniontown head coach Keith Jeffries and the Uniontown Red Raiders football team the best of luck this year. As the mayor of Uniontown and proud graduate of Uniontown Area High School, Mayor Gerke is happy to see our student athletes working hard both in the classroom and in their athletic endeavors. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, have over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Tony, we got the halftime statistics.
We do have the halftime statistics.
Our score 19-14. Uniontown on top, but a tenuous lead at best.
Tenuous lead at best is right, and really the numbers really support Uniontown. I mean, they lead 19-14, and you said early on, I mean, they had a ton of time that they held the ball in the first half, but really only a 5-point lead to show for it. But let's go over these first half stats for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Passing-wise, Kadrian McLee was 6 for 8 in that first half for 59 yards. He had 2 touchdown passes, one of 23 yards and one of 26. Cam Jackson had 1 catch for -2 yards. Calvin Winfrey had 2 catches for 20, including a 23-yard touchdown pass. Notorious Grooms, 2 catches for 15 yards. And Malachi Mitchell, 1 catch for that 26-yard touchdown pass. On the rushing end, you had Cam Jackson leading the way with 15 carries for 79 yards, and he had a 1-yard touchdown plunge in that first half. Kadrian McLee, 3 carries for 5 yards, and Michael Thomas, 1 carry for 3 yards off the bench. Turnover-wise, the Uniontown Red Raiders committed 1 turnover in that first half. They ran 27 offensive plays, rushing 19 carries for 87 yards. Passing-wise, 6 for 8 for 59 for a total of 146 yards of total offense. The big number for Uniontown was 8 penalties for 75 yards in that first half. They had 8 first downs, and they did have that 1 turnover, and that was a fumble by Kadrian McLee that was recovered by Carrick. On the Carrick side, Carrick only ran 13 plays offensively in that first half. They had only 1 yard rushing in that first half. They on 8 carries. Passing-wise, Zion Fry was 3 for 5 in that first half, but he had 106 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. The 2 catches were both made by Ashton Smith, one of 52 yards and one on 50 yards, and the other catch by Stephen Malloy for 1 catch for 4 yards. Carrick, rushing-wise, as we said, only 1 yard rushing. Stephen Malloy had 4 carries for 15 yards. Zion Fry, 3 carries for -14 yards. And Isaiah Turner Phillips, 1 carry for no yards. As we mentioned, 13 offensive plays. They had 1 yard rushing on 8 carries. They were 3 for 5 passing for 106 yards. Total of 107 yards of total offense in that first half. They committed 5 penalties that resulted in losses of 50 yards. They had 4 first downs, and turnover-wise, they actually had 2 turnovers. It was 2 fumbles, one at the end of the first half, and the big one was the one that Zion Fry fumbled on the 1-yard line that Cam Jackson was able to take in from 1 yard in the second quarter for the Uniontown Red Raiders.
I was just going to say about that. It's 19-14. When you think about it, Carrick handed Uniontown a touchdown, fumbling on their own 1-yard line, trying to get out of the end zone, and that was pretty much of a gift to give Uniontown that extra touchdown that now has resulted in that 19-14 lead.
Right. So
both teams, I think, have things to be encouraged about, but also things that need fixed on both sides of the ball. I think shoring up the issues with regard to penalties and ball protection on both sides, and being a little bit more aware on the defensive side for the Red Raiders on that quick passing game of Carrick. They were able to pretty much snuff out the running game, as you talked about. They just had 1 yard rushing, and just a couple big plays that have resulted in this close matchup here at Bill Power Stadium.
Right. And the thing of it was, Gary, remember, Uniontown had two touchdowns called back.
You're exactly right.
you had the 80-yard, the opening kickoff return by Cadrian McLeaf for 80 yards got called back, and then that run by Jackson of 52 yards that got called back for a penalty. So right now, I mean, Uniontown could be really out in front of this game, but penalties have cost them here in this first half.
And even right there at the end of the half, when they had the interception return that would have put them in decent field position with about 35, 40 seconds to go, was called back because of roughing the passer call. So
exactly.
A lot of things to review here in the first half, and we're going to bring you second half action here on WMBS Facebook Live. A few of our more sponsors. Reese Warehouse. Score big savings when you shop at Reese Warehouse in Smithville with great pricing on furniture and appliance for such manufacturers as Maytag, Whirlpool, and more. Furniture by Flex Steel and Ashley, to name a few. Comfortable Serta, bedding, and more. All at great pricing. Reese Warehouse, your community choice winner as one of the best places to buy appliances. Shop Monday from 9 to 7, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday until 6, and Saturday 9 to 5. Reese Warehouse, the superstore in Smithfield. Still waiting for both squads to come out on the field. We still are showing over 11 minutes of halftime time. Try to get in a few more of our sponsors here. Vince Facilities, Fayette County Commissioner Vince Facilities salutes all who work so hard to keep high school football an important part of our lives. A great amount of effort. Much of it behind the scenes goes into putting a team on the field. And a lot of teamwork occurs when elected officials produce positive outcomes in our communities. On Election Day, let's keep Vince Facilities and his team moving us forward. Vince Facilities at work, building Fayette County future, paid for by the friends of Vince Facilities. Our halftime statistics and activities have been brought to you by Peach and Pharmacy. Your friendly Peach and Pharmacy located in the Peach and Food Market in downtown Connellsville. Peach and providing free home delivery and very friendly services at Peach and Pharmacy. Jim Capuzzi, head pharmacist. Some of our other sponsors, we have Bill Gerke, Mayor of Uniontown, UPMC Rehab Institute, First Federal Savings Loan of Greene County, Jack Connor, SWGI US Digestive Health, David Lohr, County Commissioner, Fay West Glass, Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, Mike Auble, 4 District Attorney, Joby's Golf, Sprouse Insurance Group, Vince Facilities, which we just heard from, Nate Henning, Magisterial District Judge, George's Dental Associates, Mike Auble, 4 District Attorney. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. And Tony, hearing from Brian and Steve up at Kiski, looks like the Mustangs are having a little bit of a struggle against Kiski, trailing 14-7 at halftime. It's an important game for the Mustangs to start their conference schedule off and try to get on the right track after that tough game last week with Bell Vernon.
Well, that game last week, I mean, the thing of it was, it really, Laurel Highlands has nothing to hang their head about last week. They just ran into a team that is extremely loaded, and really, you've got to think that they're going to be the odds-on favorite to win another state championship. I mean, Matt Humbert really has that team playing well. They've got a lot of talent. I mean, you know, you can get beat a lot of ways. Quentin Martin's the main guy on that team, but really they've got a lot of weapons, and it's just one of those things where they ran into a good team last week, and hopefully they can bounce back this week. I mean, it would be an important win, especially for the confidence and going into games, you know, actually coming into section games here shortly. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it can pull it out in the second half. And same way with Uniontown here. I mean, obviously played well that first half. As we said, controlled the ball. I mean, ran 14 more offensive plays than Carrick has, but right now only a 5-point lead. So it's a little tenuous here for both teams.
No doubt about it. And taking their time getting back out here on the field. We saw the Uniontown Red Raider Band giving a great performance. And early in the night we saw the Hall of Fame inductees for Uniontown, and we can review those again one more time for our listening staff. In academics, we have Rob Anderson, graduated in 1987, Dr. Mallard George, 1969, and John McMullen in 1965. Larry Bush, 1963, Frank Rushnock, 1996. The Muncie Brothers, George, Bill, Nelson, and Chuck, all in as a group. Nobody can forget the Muncie Brothers as they were special in all of their athletic endeavors. And some special recognition with Jim Render and David McCracken. I remember Jim Render fondly as he was coaching the Red Raiders when I played.
Right.
Back in the
70s and early 80s, right.
They had some juggernaut squads back then, and they played some strong football, and he continued that as he went over to Upper St. Clair and set all kind of records, and is very high on the list of winning coaches in both the WPIL and the state, as well as throughout the country.
Correct.
Is a very impressive record. And in the arch, you have Suzanne Macheski Smallwood, Linda Wagoner, very strong up there at Falling Water, and Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor, also involved with numerous Fayette County activities and tourist attractions. These are stellar people that came out of Uniontown, and they deserved every accolade that they received here this evening.
Yeah, and don't forget, they also honored the 1963 Uniontown High School Band. So they actually were honored as well, and they'll be inducted into the Uniontown Hall of Fame also. So you're right.
Very historic bands at Uniontown. Boy, I remember back in the day that they put out the music. Boy, they had a lot of volume.
They were tough.
They provided an atmosphere that was unparalleled.
They were good at it. And like I said, that 63 team, they were good. I mean, the 63 band, so congratulations to all of them and everybody who got in.
Had to be a fun time back then here at Bill Power Stadium. I remember even, in the late 60s, early 70s, as a young child, you could not get in this stadium to get a game unless you had a season ticket or someone gave you a ticket to come to a game, because there was no tickets sold at the gate.
I know.
You had to wait your turn to get in here to see Red Raider football. And similar things up at Laurel Highlands too. I mean, the crowds were immense. And starting up at Williams Field, up there on top of the hill at North Union, where we sat on top of the hill, and then moving over to South Union in the bowl.
Exactly.
At South Union. And the atmosphere was fabulous. And now on campus, the facilities improving continuously, both at Uniontown and Laurel Highlands. So we have about 4 minutes before the second half kickoff here at Bill Power Stadium. Gary Frankhauser along with Tony Anula bringing you this action with the score Uniontown 19, Carrick 14. We'll be ready for second half action here momentarily. UPMC Rehab Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacement, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance is accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access at 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Savings as easy as 1, 2, 3 with an Education Club savings account at First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Your future dreams will start adding up. Plus, you can qualify for a scholarship upon high school graduation. Visit any First Federal branch to start saving today. For more information on account rules and scholarship eligibility, visit firstfederalofgreene.com. Best wishes to our local teams from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. NMLS number 458729. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, I got to tell you, Gary, you have only 2:30 to go here before the start of the second half, and I got a feeling Coach Jeffries must be giving his Red Raiders an earful. They haven't even come out yet for the second half. You've got Carrick out stretching a little bit, but got to wonder what's being said in that locker room, especially after a couple of stupid penalties cost them. Really, probably about 14 points at best.
At least, yeah. Yeah, they need to clean things up. I mean, Red Raiders have played well, as you said. The statistics and the controlling of the game, but those issues with pushing themselves back with penalties and eliminating big plays with penalties, that just can't happen if you want to stay consistent in high school football.
Right. Now, like I said, especially when you could have deflated Carrick early, as we said, with that 80-yard opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and then that's called back. I mean, really could have started the game off on a high note for Uniontown and kind of could have deflated Carrick early, but no such thing.
And Uniontown not coming out. Now it's down to 120. They could get a penalty.
Well, I got a feeling that
another penalty from the locker room.
As we said, 8 for 75 yards in that first half.
Not here they come now, but doesn't look like with any urgency.
Now they got a feeling their ears are ringing.
Fay West Glass, from chips and cracks to splits and shatters. If you need new glass, Fay West Glass Company is the one to call. Fay West Glass has served Fayette and Greene counties for over 25 years and specializes in residential glass installation and replacements, plus commercial and industrial glass. So when that window busts or that sliding door is shattered, you can't wait. Fay West is available. 724-439-8600. Proudly local and veteran-owned, Fay West Glass will earn your business. Looking for a fast, friendly notary service? Sandy Howe Notary Service, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plates renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and the surrounding areas. Open weekdays, evenings, and starting at 5:30 p.m., Saturday from 9 to 5. Sandy Howe Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, Pennsylvania, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name. Just like Cheers. Sandy Howe Notary Services. Well, they put another couple minutes up on the board.
Yeah, it's interesting. Especially, I mean, the band finished rather quickly. So
yeah.
It's like, one of those deals. So
not sure how that works, but Hear from Mike Auble. He's the Republican nominee for Fayette County District Attorney, a retired member of the Army and a veteran of Afghanistan with nearly 20 years of experience in military, police, corrections, and criminal law. He is the most qualified candidate to be your chief law enforcement officer. He is a strong defender of your constitutional rights, and he's dedicated to addressing crime, drugs, and corruption. We need change in the district attorney's office. Vote for Mike Auble on November 7th because he is the right person to bring about that change. Paid for by the candidates.
That'll be here before you know it when you start talking about Election Day.
Wow.
I mean, we're still having a tough time figuring it's football season here. And,
yep. Little surprise
Carrick
last night in the professional.
Oh yeah,
ranks.
every bit of. Detroit. They've been trying to build something up there, and actually, maybe it's their year. You never know.
Well, Kansas City looking a little short-handed without Kelsey out there.
That's a
huge. Wide receivers had some huge drops.
Yeah, that's a huge loss whenever you don't have a tight end like that can really control a game.
It's a fun game to watch. Not if you're a Kansas City fan. And we're about to see what the Steelers are going to do come Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be interesting as well. The advantage is it's a home game, and San Francisco has to travel across the country, play a little bit earlier than they're used to, and so you never know.
Yep, it did get a big boost with Hosa signing on that defensive side. And I'm interested to see how Purdy comes out after that kind of surprising finish to the season, whether he can continue that hot streak or not, huh?
Well, you got to wonder too how he's going to bounce back off of the injury. I mean, that's one of the things. It's you especially like that with the elbow injury, and it's going to be tough.
The Steeler defense really bolstering itself in the offseason, getting some veteran help and some great draft choices, shoring up that inside linebacker position.
Right.
So here we go as the Red Raiders will be teeing it up. Carrick won the toss and they deferred to the second half. So they have the first opportunity to put it in play on offense as we start the second half. Teeing it up for the Red Raiders is Chase Brumley.
On to begin the second half for Uniontown is number 19, Sam Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick.
I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick is doing the kicking for the kickoff, so I apologize.
So we've got Carrick play a nice kick.
That's going to be toward the sideline.
It's going to go out of bounds.
No, it didn't go out. Kind of
stayed in. Wow.
Checked up there at the 15-yard line, and Carrick had to pick it up. They did get it out past the 20, so it looked like it was going to bounce out of bounds, but that was a lot of English on that one, just kind of backed it up. One of Steve Suprick chip shots.
So you're going to have Carrick taking over here at their own 21.
Just underway here at the second half. Carrick with the first possession, scored 19-14. Uniontown on top. Let's see what Carrick comes out with here in the second half.
I think a little bit closer than we kind of thought, Gary. I mean, you saw Carrick pretty much get blown out their first two games, losing to Carlinton, 46-6, and then losing last week to University Prep, 68-6. So
little run up the middle and meeting the runner in the hole there. Looked like Jackson coming up from his safety position to make that. Met him in the hole before he could gain any kind of momentum. Looked like Malloy on that carry.
It looks like they're going to give him, about a 1 yard loss maybe. And again, we mentioned that they only had 1 yard rushing in that first half. Now, grant you, a couple of them were for losses being tackled.
Right.
Zion Fry being tackled on a couple sacks, but really, Uniontown playing good defense against the run. Just the pass has been killing them, especially the speed of Ashton Smith.
And really taking way too much time getting these plays in. Official with his hand up, he's counting for the delay now. Gets Fry now is going to get hit in the backfield. Try to step up. Did he get rid of the ball? I don't know. Nope.
No, they're going to call it a
They're gonna
loss.
call it a 6-yard loss. And he tried to step up between the defenders, but 3 Uniontown defenders right there to swallow him up.
And that is a sack for the Uniontown Red Raiders.
Looked like number 10,
Chaos in the Carrick backfield is number 77.
Mason Kuhn, in there as one of the triumvirate of Raiders to swallow up Fry.
Fry really with no place to go. That pocket closed pretty quick.
3rd down and 17 now.
3rd and 16 for Carrick from their own 15-yard line.
So Carrick offense going in reverse here to start the second half, and Red Raider defense stiffening up, but look for Fry to put it in the air here. If he could get a quick pass out, eliminate the quick rush of the Red Raider defense, who are bringing numbers. They're going to throw it deep as a man out there, and just out of the reach of the intended receiver.
Intended for number 17.
That was for Smith again.
Smith, he had a couple steps on the defender and just slightly overthrown. That was a good throw there, though, by Fry. He had that in the air, probably a good 45 yards.
Yeah, showed a nice arm right there, but just led Smith just a little too much.
So that's going to bring up 4th down in the adventure of the punt game.
Well,
if you're Uniontown, I'm bringing pressure.
Well, you have to. I mean, you've seen that the long snapper has a little trouble getting the ball back there quickly. They were able to block a punt early on in that first quarter.
Right.
So Johnson going to go back again, number 11, to kick again, Isaiah Johnson.
Torbich that had the block punt early. There's a decent snap this time, and he barely got it away, and that's going to be a bounding punt. And I'm not sure why he didn't let that roll, but down by Carrick at the 42-yard line. But I should have let that roll another 10 yards. I think that was Marcus Fields down there quickly. I'm sorry, it could have been number 9. That was Matthew Thomas. And saw the ball bouncing. He just grabbed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Football Boosters concession stand located on the visitor side here of Bill Power Stadium.
So Thomas could have let that one go another 10 yards and allowed for a little less good field position for the Uniontown Red Raiders, but they're going to take over now on the 42-yard line in Carrick territory on their first possession of the second half.
A good field position to start, and
a little trouble setting the yardsticks, I think, over there. Kind of providing a little bit of a
maybe a little kink in the
chain, yeah.
First and 10 for Uniontown.
Now they're ready.
He gave a little sideline warning, according to Josh Scully.
McLee looking for the snap, gets an offside call. That's going to be a dead ball call. Hard count there by McLee. Pulls Carrick defenders off side, and that's going to be a easy 5 yards for Uniontown.
False start, correction, offsides against the Carrick Raiders.
Will improve the situation to a 1st and 5 for Uniontown. And they're bringing pressure, and now McLee's going to come around the left side, and he's going to try to outrun the defenders, and he does inside the 25 to the 20. Dances his way out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
And you got...
So that was from the
37.
Yeah, to the 18.
So you've got a injury timeout. Looks like a player down for Carrick. So this injury timeout is brought to you by the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive. Call 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute Services. Relief is closer than you think. It looks like it might be a cramp situation, but we're trying to see who is down for Carrick. It's tough to get the number. But regardless of that, the ball is going to be marked on the 18-yard line. So that was a 19-yard run by Kadrian McLee to pick up the first down for the Uniontown Red Raiders. McLean now
Uniontown scoreboard.
4 carries for 23 yards.
Remaining in the third quarter.
And more importantly, keeping this drive alive for the Uniontown Red Raiders.
And the Laurel Highlands Mustangs 14.
So Uniontown picks up their 9th first down of the game.
Out-of-town score has the Mustangs tying it up at 14 in the third quarter, as we still are dealing with the injury here on the near sideline to the Carrick Raider defender. They'll pick up that number as to the injured player.
Yeah, and it doesn't, I mean, we had originally thought it was a cramp, but to be honest with you,
looks a little more serious.
Like,
than that.
it does look a little more serious. It's not like they're stretching him out or doing anything like that. So I have to see if we can get a number here and tell you who the injured player is.
Both teams huddling with their coaching staffs to kind of take advantage of the delay in action here with 9:30 to go here in the third. Uniontown with the 19-14 lead and threatening now inside the 20-yard line at about the 18 after the
19-yard
run by Kadrian McLee. Well, he's up on his feet.
That's a good sign. It looks
that's
Fry.
Yeah, that's Fry.
Wow.
That's not good.
That's not good. Walking off okay, though.
Yeah, he's going to even actually break into a jogs.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
And he's one player that you do not want to lose on this Carrick side, as we said. Obviously, they're starting quarterback, but pretty nice-looking defensive back as well.
Absolutely. I think he just kind of got twisted up there. Hopefully nothing's too serious, and we'll see him back in the game. But now Uniontown back on offense, had an opportunity to talk things over during the injury timeout. So let's see what Coach Jeffries has in store after that run by Kadrian McLee.
Well, here's the question: Do you want to put the ball in the air and try to pick on whoever came in for Fry right off the bench?
Well, they've shown the ability to pitch and catch for 2 touchdowns here this evening.
You've got 4 Red Raiders with catches here tonight so far.
2 touchdowns.
Right. So you got to figure. You got Winfrey and Grooms both with 2 catches. As we said, Malachi Mitchell with 1 and Cam Jackson with a catch.
So it's going to be a handoff to Jackson off the left side, and he gets into that secondary, takes a hard hit, but gets all the way down to the 9-yard line.
It's going to be just short of the first down.
Looked like Matthew Thomas on the tackle there. That's going to be, just as you said, bring up 2nd down and 1 inside the 10-yard line.
2nd down and 1 yard for Uniontown at the Carrick 10-yard line.
So McLee now. Parking signal is going to fake and take it himself around the left side. Just one man to beat, and he kind of stumbles, but gets inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Had there's like another injury down there for Carrick, but nope, he's going to get up. He looks like he's going to be okay. That's going to set up a 1st and goal inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. We've got another injury now. Carrick injury again down here on the sidelines. Can't see who that is, down on all 4s. That's going to bring things to a stop here again.
And again,
another injury timeout. This time,
this injury timeout is being brought to you by UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute Services. Relief is closer than you think.
So with 8:51 on a slow-moving clock here in the third quarter, a couple delays with injuries and just some general confusion has kept this clock from progressing as it did in the first half. So 1st and goal for the Red Raiders at the 3-yard line, threatening again to add to a 19-14 lead. McLee in the shotgun. Gets another offside. So Carrick listening to that hard count. That's going to be a half the distance of the goal. It's going to make it 1st and goal from the 1.5. So McLee barking again. Now movement in the backfield, and that's going to cost the Red Raiders 5 yards. Got his own player with a hard count that time. So penalties mounting on both sides of the ball. That's going to push it back 5, out past the 5-yard line to the 6.5. Back into the huddle. Red Raiders now facing a 1st and goal from the 6.5-yard line. Clock has not moved for the last 3 plays.
8 penalties, 80 yards against the Uniontown Red
gives
Raiders.
It to Jackson, and he has some room on the right side, tries to bounce it out. Now he's going to scoot into the right corner of the end zone for the Red Raider touchdown from 6 yards out. Cam Jackson with the touchdown. His second touchdown of the evening. Uniontown 25, Carrick 14, and extra point to come.
That's a 42-yard drive by Uniontown. Only took 4 plays.
Highlighted by the 17-yard run by McLean, right?
Right.
Good snap. Kick is up, and it is wide right, or short, off the upright. So, again, the extra point fails for Uniontown, and that's going to leave it at a 25-14, 11-point advantage for the Uniontown Red Raiders as we get set for the kickoff here with 8:42 to go here in the third. Joby's Golf, where can you go these days and have your gas pumped for you? Oil checked and windshields clean? Joby's Golf, that's where. Joby's Golf is conveniently located at the corner of Fayette and Beeson Boulevard. Joby's Golf is a fast, friendly, full-service gas station that has been serving the Uniontown area for over 49 years. Joby's Golf offers lockout services, a fenced-in storage lot, and is a AAA 24-hour car and light truck towing service. Call 724-438-0681 for Joby's Golf.
So Uniontown now extending their lead to 11.
And Fitzpatrick will come out to tee it up. Carrick trying to come up with some answers on the offensive side.
Kind of looking to see if Fry
is out there.
He's going to make his way back out. We'll see what happens after this kick.
Yeah, I don't think he's out there for the kick return.
No.
That's a low dribbler, and that's going to be picked up at about the 22-yard line.
Blowing it dead, though.
What's the penalty flag for now?
Not sure.
Not too many men on the field, maybe, for Carrick?
We're looking for a signal.
Threw the flag. Didn't tell us what it was for.
Not yet. See what he's going to do here. What's the call? They're going to talk to Keith Jeffries, I think. I'm not so sure what it's about.
Illegal participation, again, a delay. Delay. I don't think I've ever seen that, Tony. Delay of game on a kickoff?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
I mean,
I guess the clock's running.
I guess.
But, I mean, raise your hand and say it's ready to go, and then the official says kick it.
Yeah, and there you go.
Wow. Didn't even give us enough for a commercial timeout.
I was going to say. he's stunning our broadcast here. But
so Fitzpatrick will try to do it again, this time from the 35. And it's a high, deep kick
nice kick.
Time, all the way down to the 15-yard line. Caught there on the fly by
Smith.
He's trying to get around the left side and use that speed. He does. Gain some ground. Has to cut it back in now. He's going to be driven out of bounds, but a great return there by Smith. Been the highlight reel for Carrick so far here this evening. Got that at the 15.
Yeah, 36-yard return.
Yeah, 36-yard return.
You've got another Carrick player down on the far sideline, on their sideline. Looks like a cramp, though. It looks like they're trying to
Can't afford to lose too many players over there. Looks like total squad is probably, like 30 guys maybe.
Okay, so they're going to mark this at the 49-yard line. 8:31 to go. Can't really see Gary. Is Fry back out there? Doesn't look like him behind center.
No, it looks like number 11, isn't it?
It looks like Johnson then. The kicker, or the punter, I should say.
Yeah. Raiders looking to bring pressure. They're going to hand off inside and gets through the seam, and that's going to be a nice run on first down inside the 35, down to the 30, inside the 30, pushing his way all the way. Try to see who that carry was.
I think they were saying that it was Beasley, number 3. So Tymir Beasley with the carry.
Yep.
And a pretty nice run right there.
That was
Let's see where
quick
they have
hitter.
it.
And the Red Raiders bringing pressure, and once they got past that first wave of pressure, really pick up some nice yardage down to the 29-yard line.
So 22-yard run. And a first down.
Gets them into positive running, and there's Beasley again. He's going to push some Red Raiders ahead for a 3-yard gain, looks like.
Beasley, the ball carrier for the Carrick Raiders. Gain of 3 on the play.
Second down and 7. Down to about the 28-yard line, 27-yard line.
Really, Carrick. You wonder if Beasley's in there because somebody else is hurt.
Yeah, we saw Fields earlier, number 6. Saw Babjack, number 8, also running the ball. Should get Smith in the backfield.
Yeah. Tell you what, with that speed, I'd definitely get the ball in his hand somewhere.
Rolling right now. This will be taken by the swing receiver, and that's Beasley being a workhorse here on this drive. He picked up about 4 yards on that play.
Well, that actually was Fry with the pass to Beasley.
Fry came back in.
Yeah, he made that pass. So 3-yard completion.
It's be 3rd and 5 at the 24-yard line. Carrick needs to be a little more efficient in getting these plays off. They're running up against a play clock pretty much every play.
You're going to have the referee counting it out here. Better get the snap off.
It's not going to happen. There, they got it off. The Raiders bringing pressure. Wow.
Nice tackle.
And that's number 5.
David ran it to with the sack all the way out to the 30-yard line. That's going to be about a 7-8 loss on the sack. I bring up 4th down. Carrick's going to have to go for it here. Really no point in punting at the 32-yard line of Uniontown.
No.
Trailing 25-14 with 5:30 on a running clock here in the third quarter.
So now we're going to have to see. It looks like Fry coming back in. He gets his plays from the sideline, and now he's ready to go. And again, they bump right up against that time clock almost every play.
Delay on this one, I'm almost positive. There it is, delay.
Yep. Timeout.
Carrick.
Timeout, yep.
So with that timeout, let's hear from another one of our sponsors.
And your score, Uniontown 25, Carrick 14.
Nathan Henning, Magisterial District Judge Nathan Henning extends his best wishes to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Uniontown Red Raiders, and all our local teams for a great season. District Judge Nathan Henning recognizes that a successful season requires teamwork. It is the result of the hard work of the players and coaches and the support of their families. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Nathan Henning, who would appreciate your vote on November 7th. Paid for by Nathan Henning.
So now from the timeout, 4th and 13 for Carrick. Let's see what they do here.
Fayette County's own Jack Connor is running for district attorney this November. He's serious about turning the county around. He's going to go after the drug dealers who are pumping fentanyl into our county, insist on maximum sentences for dangerous criminals and escalating sentences for repeat offenders with clear consequences. Would-be criminals will think twice. Jack Connor for district attorney. There's the... Oh! Wow, that would have been for some yardage right in and out of the hand. Was that Smith? Looked like Smith that time tried to run before he had it. And that was going to be a potential gainer, but Carrick will turn it over on downs to the Red Raiders with 5:01 to go here in the third, and Red Raiders still leading 25-14.
So 5:01 to go. And Uniontown taking over on their own 32-yard line. And a nice defensive stop there. Actually, a fortunate that Smith kind of took his eye off the ball, but fortunate for the Red Raiders if they can drive this down and punch in another touchdown, at least extend that lead, make it a little bit tougher for Carrick.
Big play on third down with that sack that made it a very difficult fourth down play. Here comes Jackson now. He's going to bounce it out and shoestring tackle there. Beautiful diving tackle. Looked like by Marcus Fields. So slicing in there and able to get Jackson off his feet. That's going to be limited to a 1-yard gain.
And he really just missed. Like I said, if he would have been able to get outside on that.
There was nobody else out there.
Right. Let's see what happens here. Will Uniontown put the ball in play in the air?
Yeah. Mitchell here to the near side. Looks like Searock out to the right side. Got a protector and a deep eye back. It looked like motion, but no call. And here goes Jackson on the right side. Has the corner. He's going to cut it upfield and gain a first down past the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
And that'll take Jackson over 100 yards. Now at 109 for the night on 19 carries for 109 yards. So third straight game where Jackson's going over the 100-yard mark.
He's a nice-looking player. He has some very quick moves, shifty, and pretty strong runner also.
Yes, he is. We're going to have another timeout.
And it's timeout called this time by the Uniontown Red Raiders with 3:36 to go here in the third quarter.
Red Raiders, 3:36 remaining in the third quarter.
See who we can hear from here now as the timeout is called by the Uniontown Red Raiders. Let's find all our sponsors here. Fay West Glass, chips and cracks and splits and shatters. If you need new glass, Fay West Glass Company is the one to call. Fay West Glass has served Fayette and Greene counties for over 25 years. He specializes in residential glass installation and replacements, plus commercial and industrial glass. So when that window's busted or that sliding door is shattered, you can't wait. Fay West is available, 724-439-8600. Proudly local and veteran-owned, Fay West Glass will earn your business. So Uniontown comes out of the timeout with a 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Having taken over on downs with Carrick moving down into Uniontown territory but unable to score. Now here's a delayed handoff, and the Carrick Raiders in the backfield that time. Torbich nowhere to go. He'll lose 3 on that play. Give him a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12.
And they were waiting for that, Gary. Must have
that's for sure. They
seen
just
something.
Had all his gaps covered that time.
Torbish with nowhere to go. Looks like you got Malachi Mitchell coming off with a cramp. He flew off the field. They're trying to stretch him out.
And Milsom now wide left for the Red Raiders. Torbish fit the fake, and now the pitch out here to Jackson, and he's going to run over a couple players. Nice pitch that time. Good timing by McLee getting it to Jackson. And he picks up 7 on the play.
Going to give him 8.
Play will result in third down for Uniontown and 5 yards.
3rd and 5 inside Carrick territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, a nice time. You're right there. McLee made the perfect pitch, able to draw the defender up and give Jackson a little bit of room to pick up a quick 8 yards.
Back goes McLee, looking deep. He's going to step up. Now he's going to be hit from behind, spins away, has a man open, but throws it behind him. McLee probably would have been better served there to just tuck it and run. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th and 5 at the 48-yard line. And Uniontown brings out the punt team.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and I guess they're going to play field position here, try to pin Carrick back. But got to get a good kickoff.
Carrick doesn't have a team on the field just yet. If I'm Uniontown, snap it and run it.
Kick it, let's go, yeah.
Snap it and run it. Man, they're just dragging out on the field now. I'm sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe they had 11.
Nice punt.
Sure. That's going to go, might go in the end zone, and it does.
It did.
Wow, that had potential to go out at about the 1-yard line, but took a front roll bounce into the end zone, so Carrick will take over at their own 20-yard line. With 1:49 to go, 25-14, Uniontown on top here at Bill Power Stadium. Gary Frankhauser along with Tony Anula, Billy Dice on the camera, doing his fine job as usual.
We got to give our buddy Robert Chaney, who's sitting down here, got to give him a little credit too for nice article today about Jerry Dupay in the paper today, in the Uniontown paper.
And you said he forgave you. I'm not sure that was true.
Nah, I don't think he did either, Rob. It was one of those things, but we do miss him, and we miss him here in the press box for sure. And you're right, he saw a lot of games, and a really nice touch here today, Rob. We'll give you props for that, buddy.
No doubt. Carrick now. Oh, ball on the turf and falling on it. Lou is still rolling away, and it looks like Uniontown might have it. They do. The snap came back and just came off the knee of Zion Fry, and it carried him forward, and nobody from Carrick could fall on it. So Uniontown gets the benefit of the miscue by Carrick and will take over at the 19-yard line.
And that's
what a change of events.
Yeah, and that's the 3rd turnover by Carrick here today. All 3 fumbles. And this one could be critical right now. 11-point lead with 1:44 to go, and the Red Raiders need to pound this one in.
Should show some hop in their step here. Just like milling around, finally getting to the line. McLee looking over for further direction.
And they're going to have an illegal substitution. Now they're going to call a timeout.
I think Carrick called timeout.
Yeah.
They had too many men on the field as a defender was trying to get off the field, so they called timeout. That's going to stop the clock again here in the 3rd quarter with 1:44 to go here in the 3rd. Uniontown 25, Carrick 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you this evening for your support of our 2 concession stands. Our Football Boosters concession stand operates on the visitor side of Bill Power Stadium. Our marching band concession stand operates on the home side of Bill Power Stadium. Thank you again for your support of these 2 concession stands this evening.
So this timeout. Let's see who we can bring forward here. SWGI, Dr. Fraser Stokes from U.S. Digestive Health in Uniontown, and his partners, Dr. Fred Ruthart, Chuck Calabrese, Mark Hoppy, and their entire USDH team want to wish all our local high school athletes a successful season. And here's goes McClee back, looking. He's going to throw it down the field and hope his player can catch it, but it's way out of bounds, so no way for anyone to catch that one. For any digestive problems or just to schedule a preventative screening colonoscopy, please call them at 724-437-7677. SWGI, U.S. Digestive Health here in Uniontown. So we have a second down and 10. Ball sitting at the 19-yard line. Again, Uniontown trying to take advantage of the fumble by Carrick. Miscue on the snap. Stopped clock at 1:36 to go here in the third period. McClee gets the snap, hands it to Jackson, trying to get around the right side. He steps in.
Nice move.
Gets inside. Now he's going to go all the way into the end zone from 19 yards out. His third touchdown of the evening. Cam Jackson into the end zone. Just kind of danced his way through the raindrops that time, Tony.
Did a nice job just waiting for that hole to open.
Looked like the play was going to go outside, and he just saw a crease, snuck up through, then cut it to the outside to take it in from 19 yards out. Extend the lead now to 31-14, Uniontown on top. They're going to try this extra point one more time.
So a quick play drive, 2 plays, 19 yards, and did that all in 16 seconds.
Get that last player out there on the extra point team. Snap's good. Hold down. Kick is up, and I believe he got that one. Yes, he did.
And the extra point is good.
Extra point good. Adds on to a score now at Uniontown 32, Carrick 14. 1:28 to go here in the third. We'll be back with the kickoff. You're watching WMBS Facebook Live.
Back to receive the kickoff for the Carrick Raiders, number 17, Ashton Smith. On to kickoff for Uniontown, number 19, Sam Fitzpatrick.
Sam Fitzpatrick on to do the kicking for Uniontown. Once again, trying to kick it deep. Kicks this one on the ground. Bouncer, and it's Cat on the run there. Oh, by the Uniontown Red Raider. And
it's number 5, David
Ranatu with the hit.
The kickoff return to a dramatic conclusion. And with 1:23 to play.
1:23 to play. Good hit there by Ranatu on the return. We couldn't pick up who actually got that return. I think it might have been Beasley. But now Carrick kind of whole team walking toward the sideline.
The Carrick Raiders will have first and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
I tell you
First and 10 from their own 40, but they're dragging.
Ranatu has made a couple. He's dropped the hammer a couple times on a couple of these Carrick players. A couple nice hits, and right there just leveled it. Looked like couldn't really tell. Looked like number 8 was the runner, but
looked like Fry's back in there, quarterback. He is, and he's got 3 assistants in the backfield with him. One really deep, can't pick that number up. They're going to hand it to him up the middle. He's going to bounce off a tackler. That's Beasley, I think.
And Uniontown's number 28, Notorious Grooms.
Grooms with the tackle.
To the ground, number 3. Beasley.
Beasley picks up about 4 yards or 3.5 on that carry. 2nd and 7 as the clock winds under 1 minute to go here in the third.
Beasley have not a bad second half so far. 3 carries for 28 yards.
Nice tackle there by Grooms.
Notorious sticking his nose in there and making a nice play. So we're down to 40 seconds here to go in this third quarter. Carrick, again, a little unsettled.
Yeah, they just lack of ability to practice is, I think, showing its face here for the Carrick Raiders. Fry, now he's going to be hit the backfield again. Bounces away out. Now has a man wide open deep, and it's caught
Nice
at about
catch.
the 34-yard line. Let's see who that is.
The pass is complete to number 6,
Marcus Fields with the catch. Nice Houdiniac there by Fry. Looked like he was going to be sacked for a big loss, but slithered his way through the defenders for Uniontown, came out to the right side and got it downfield to Marcus Fields.
22-yard pickup on that one.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. That's going to end the third quarter. Finally, we're going to go to the fourth quarter, switch the sides of the field, with Carrick having a 1st and 10 at the Uniontown Red Raider 35-yard line, with the score Uniontown 32, Carrick 14. We'll be back here for fourth quarter action momentarily. Try to pick up a couple more of our sponsors here. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Insurance Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change your car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now, that's something to be smiling about. Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Shaver Township is the Sprouse Insurance Group at 724-437-9812, or go to Sprouseinsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed. Continued insurance coverage is not available in all states. So here's Carrick now with a 1st and 10 in Uniontown territory, trying to answer the last score by Uniontown that has stretched that lead out to 32-14 as we start the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you what, Fry, a nice-looking quarterback, Gary, I got to tell you.
He's an athlete, no doubt about that.
Yes, he is.
Back he goes. He steps up again. Now he's going to be hit in the backfield, spins away again, still trying to get away from tacklers, does finally spin out of there again, still not on the ground, but now he's going to go back further and lose about 6 yards.
What an effort, though.
Finally able to get him to the ground there, I believe, was number 10, Mason Kuhn.
I mean, he probably shook off about 4 tackles there before he finally went down.
That was
It's 14. McKeesport 14.
So that's going to bring up second down and probably, 16?
16, yep.
And the final score to report from the Buckeye State. It's Buckeye Local 40 and Brownsville 6.
So now
It's Carrick now trying to make up for that 6-yard loss. Sends a man in motion. That's going to be pass out here now to Smith, looking to try to do it again. Shakes off one tackler, tries to cut it back. Missing tacklers again, but they're going to have him at about the 34-yard line. There's going to be a penalty.
There's going to be a penalty, is right.
Extracurricular activity, too much after the whistle. That might be a personal foul, which is going to be a 15 yards and move Carrick well into Uniontown territory.
Smith with his
Gain of 7 yards on the play.
third reception of the night.
Sideline warning, but I don't know if that was the penalty or not. Maybe it was.
Not sure.
They're not going to call anything else. No,
they just gave him a warning.
Yep.
So a 7-yard
threw that flag
completion.
about 20 yards up in the air.
He wanted to make sure they saw it, man.
Jeez.
Out of town scoreboard. It's the Willow Highlands Mustangs 24 And the Kiski area Cavaliers, 21.
So now
Well, Mustangs on top 24-21. Close game over there in Westmoreland County. Fry will try things now on 3rd and 9. When that's a high snap over his head, he's going to have to go back and get it.
He didn't get it.
He did not. Uniontown's going to recover. Nope. No, let's see. They call it. Yes, no. He called it 4th down.
He did call it 4th down. Fry got it back. I mean, I really thought that.
Came out of the pile with it was number 55 for Uniontown.
Carrick will remain current with this possession.
Well, long story short, it's going to be 4th down and forever.
That was Ranitou, I think, coming Maui. Coming out of there with the ball, but he said that Fry must have had it long enough to say it was down before anybody actually hit him.
That's a 17-yard loss.
It sure is.
So now it makes it 4th and 26.
Clock running now with 9:24 to go here in the 4th. Carrick needs to get this punt off. Try to move Uniontown back into their own territory. That's a high snap.
Going to get it.
He did. He finally got it away and might be running into the kicker, but no call. And the kicker's down on the ground. That's going to be an injury timeout as the kicker, number 11, Isaiah Johnson, got run into, but it was after the play and the ball was away. So Uniontown 32, Carrick 14 for this injury timeout.
This injury timeout is being brought to you by the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute services. Relief is closer than you think.
Well read, Tony.
Thank you, brother. You're getting your practice tonight, too.
Oh, wow. A lot of reading.
Yeah, so Johnson still down. That punt, probably about an 8-yard punt after it's all said and done.
Looked like he was in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, they're still working on him. So 9:06 to go in the 4th. And Uniontown, with a score here, can pretty much salt it away.
He did get the punt away, and it went to about the 40-yard line of Uniontown. So that's where Uniontown will take over.
And the other thing, too, is he may have gotten a piece. Uniontown may have gotten a piece of that.
Yeah, and that's probably why there was no call on
Exactly.
running into the kicker.
I mean, I actually thought they were going to block it.
They had enough guys in there.
Yes, they did. It looked like about 4 or 5 guys could have blocked that punt.
Yep.
So now we'll see. Again, working on him. Johnson still down. That's not a good sign.
Nope. He's been in there on both sides of the ball.
48 and Frazier 12.
Both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. So, again, Carrick not with a huge amount of players. Looks like their total squad's about maybe 33 players, and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them are freshmen.
Well, and we've seen a number of players go out today for cramping, on both sides, really. Humid night, one of those things where try to stay hydrated, but the thing of it is it's pretty tough to do, especially when you're playing both ways.
That's a fact.
So now Johnson's still down. It looks like they're working a little bit on his knee, Gare.
Yeah, he's got his hands over on top of his head, so it doesn't look like he's enjoying that at all.
Coach Harry Kaufman going out to check him out, take a look.
Uniontown will be playing Carrick again I'm not sure if you have the schedule there, Tony.
I do have both schedules here. If I can find them in my
stack of mess here.
Yeah, no kidding. That's pretty much it.
So
He's actually going to get up and walk off by himself. That's a good sign.
Under his own power.
So Carrick and Uniontown will play again. This is the 8th of September, which is today, and they're going to play again to end the season on October 20th. And that'll be at Carrick High School. Next week, Carrick will take on Brashear in the City League. Uniontown will take on, if I could find my stuff.
Back goes McClee, rolling right, looking, being chased. Now he has some room. He gets it away, and it's off the hand of his intended receiver, and that was Jackson. It was close to going over the line of scrimmage there for McClee. Right at the 40-yard line, he let that go, but just out of the reach of Cam. He was open down there at about the 35-yard line.
McClee doing a nice job to give himself a little bit of time to try to get rid of that ball.
That's for sure.
So now, 2nd and 10.
From the 40-yard line.
8:56 to go.
Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Now a ball in the field again. McClee picks it up, and he's going to try to get around the right side. He's going to get positive yardage out to about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to see where they're
going to give him to the 47. Wow, give him a 7-yard run.
Yeah. Pretty nice little dash there by McClee.
After the ball was on the turf, low snap, was able to scoop it up and just sprint around the right side for a nice 7-yard gain, bringing up a more manageable 3rd and 3.5.
McClee now with 6 carries for 45 yards on the night. Cam Jackson with 21 carries, 136 yards, 3 touchdowns. So he duplicates that 3 touchdowns just like he had against Brownsville last week.
McClee with the snap. Now we got a penalty flag. Could be
I think we had a little motion.
Yep. Offside on Carrick.
Oh, wow.
That gives them an automatic first down. And that's going to move it into Carrick territory with the clock now stopped at 8:48 to go here in the 4th.
That's 7 penalties on Carrick for 60 yards. That's going to give Uniontown their 13th first down of the night. So now,
take those anytime you can get them.
Exactly.
Following the penalty, first down for Uniontown.
Inside Carrick territory, split wide to the left, and now moving up was the receiver, and that's going to be Grooms around the left side. He's going to have some room. Looks like a nice 10-yard sprint rush around the left side, sweep. Jet sweep, we like to call it.
It's exactly right.
Give him 10. First down inside the 40 at about the 39-yard line.
And Notorious with his first carry of the night. Productive, 10 yards.
Kept it in bounds, kept the clock moving.
Uniontown now just trying to keep it in bounds, try to keep this clock running. An 18-point lead.
Finished up with the score down on the net. McClee with the fake, and he's off to the races. One man to beat. Gets around that last defender, and he's going to go into the end zone from 38 yards out. McClee with his first touchdown of the evening scoots in from 38 yards out for the Red Raider touchdown that now has the advantage out to 38-14. Red Raiders taking control here in the second half.
Uniontown. Quick strike there. Only a 3-play drive. And it only took 1 minute and 5 seconds off the clock, but 40-yard touchdown. I'm sorry, 60-yard
drive.
60-yard drive.
And the kick is up and good. So that adds on and makes it 39-14. All Uniontown here in the second half, and they'll tee it up again to kick off to the Carrick Raiders as we wind down the fourth quarter here at Bill Power Stadium. Uniontown coming out in the second half and pretty much dominating things.
That was close in the first half, but they've shut down Carrick offensively. I mean, they gave up 14 points relatively quickly there in that second quarter, but defense and whatever Coach Jeffries said at halftime, and as we said, the team really didn't come out till about 1 minute and 50 seconds to go before the start of the third quarter. So whatever he said at halftime must have fired this team up a little bit because they look a little bit different.
Much more efficient. Few errors, but nothing like we saw in the first half.
Right.
And Carrick, you can see that their numbers causing a little bit of a concern with the conditioning.
Well, and you're right, too, Gareth. I mean, they had to cancel 2 practices this week because of the heat. And it's pretty tough to prepare for a game, really, in one day.
It's almost impossible. Good return here, though, and that's going to be...
It's Smith again.
Yep, Smith with a nice return out past the 30-yard line to about the 32-yard line where Carrick will take over 1st and 10. Trailing 39-14. Uniontown in complete control here in the second half. And Carrick will try to put something together here late in this fourth quarter.
I think the big thing for Carrick is, I mean, they just need to speed up their offense. You know, they just take a long time
getting plays in. And
and I mean, a lot of
unorganized.
Exactly, a lot of delay of game penalties.
Comes with practice.
Yes. So, like I said, they've actually shown some promise offensively here tonight.
Absolutely, they have some athletes. Zion Fry is a dynamic player, along with Smith.
We've seen
Tamir Beasley in the second half has really showed his ability to run hard.
I agree. That's exactly who I was going to mention. He's a nice-looking player, and it's going to be another timeout.
Timeout taken on the field.
Interesting.
Wow.
7:55 remaining in the game.
So Dave Lohr wants you to remain your Fayette County Commissioner. Commissioners have come and gone, but real change comes when Dave Lohr was elected Fayette County Commissioner. Dave left politics at the door to focus on what's best for the people of Fayette County. The county is changing from here at home to Pittsburgh to Harrisburg to Washington. They are noticing things, are looking up for Fayette County, and businesses are noticing that too. That's good for everyone. Keep Dave Lohr in your Fayette County Commissioner. Paid for by Dave Lohr. Peach and Pharmacy, your local pharmacy, independently owned pharmacy in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, located in the Peachin Market in downtown Connellsville, providing all of your pharmacy needs, including free delivery, all of your insurances accepted at Peachin Pharmacy, and the same low copay that you get at any other large pharmacy store. And there's a pass out to the right side looking for Smith to get it in his hands again, and that was just out of his reach.
Nearly picked off.
Yeah, that was read nicely that time by the defender out there, and I'm trying to pick up the number. I think that was 23 for Uniontown, and that would be Stephen Dillard.
Dillard was close to getting his first pick and maybe even a pick six.
Looks like the Red Raiders have put a few reserves in now. There's out to Smith again. No, that's not Smith. Who is that? Number 6. I think that's Fields. He's going to cut it back, and now making a tackle from the rear, coming from the blind side of Fields.
By number 7, Malachi Mitchell.
That was number 30, I believe, on the tackle, or Mitchell.
So close to, did they?
Play results in a gain of 7.
So that's a pass, gain of 7. I think Jameer Walker was in on that tackle also.
So we'll give Fields the catch.
Gain of 7.
Yep. So Fry trying to hand it off here. Nowhere to go.
Diving forward to about the 40-yard line.
The tackle is made for Uniontown by number 65.
That's Beasley.
Connor Henda.
So 4th down, I would say Carrick's going to go for it here with 6:40 to go in the 4th quarter.
And
I
obviously
think I'd just leave the ball in Fry's hand here, have him try to gain 2 yards up the middle.
Well, they were able to open that huge hole whenever he went in for the 2-point conversion. I mean, I would try it again. Try the same play. I mean, that hole was pretty wide open there for him.
Sure was. They're lining up as if they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, they really don't have any choice at this point.
Fry gets, and he's going roll right. Not what I thought they would be doing, but it's
Nice
a good
pass.
catch. Nice pass and catch. Let's see who that is out there. I think that might be Fields.
Yep.
And the pass is complete. The Carrick's number 6, Marcus Field.
It is Fields, so for a nice 6-yard pickup.
Spot of the ball will be the Carrick 45-yard line. 5:35 to play.
1st down, Carrick.
Fields now with 3 catches for 34 yards. Keeps the drive alive for the Carrick Raiders.
Fry now again in the shotgun over his head again. Can he pick this one up? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does, but it's all the way back to the 31-yard line. And he's exhausted.
Fry.
That's going to be a loss of 14 yards. Wow.
Man, it makes it tough.
The ball will now be the Carrick 31.
So now you're going to have, what, 2nd and 25?
Long way.
Yeah, with a running clock.
2nd down and 25.
We're under 4:30 to go here in the 4th. 2nd down and 25. Trying to get a play in.
Yeah, what do you pull out here? Maybe that little flanker screen again to Smith. I'd give it a try.
Fry's got a little hitch in his giddy up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in. Yeah, that's him. Gonna roll right, throw it deep. There's a man out there, just overthrown. Got twisted around on the pattern out there. Intended for, looked like Marcus Fields out there again. 3rd and 25.
And you've got to, do you just try to take it in chunks, or what do you do here?
Quick kick.
It's an option. And again, taking a while.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously the clock stopped because of the incomplete pass, but still, you've got.
You only have 40 seconds to get a play off.
Yeah. The referee's starting to count now.
Got his hands up.
Now he does. Here we go.
They're going to let it go. Oh, screen pass. Nice call. And this is Beasley. Gets some room, and he gets all the way out past the 40 to the 43-yard line. So pickup of about 13 on the play.
Right.
We could bring up 4th down and 12. Nice call.
Gain of 13 yards on the play.
Well, that answered our question. Do you go for it all at once or try to take out a little chunk? And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So now 4th and 12.
Much more manageable, but still a tall task.
Exactly. As we said, this Uniontown defense has played well the second half.
There's a bunch of reserves in there now. Everyone getting a chance to play. See Anthony Sheffy in there at safety. Out here in one of the corners, number 25 is Hunter Tennant. Like number 17, Jaden Curry-Jones. Passes deep, and he had a man open again. Was that Smith? Uh-oh, now cramp for him.
Yep.
And he goes down in a heap all the way down at the 13-yard line, and that's definitely a cramping situation.
Oh, yeah.
They turn it over on downs. Uniontown will take over at the 43-yard line of Carrick with 2:52 to go. So another timeout on the field, 2:52 remaining. We got one more UPMC rehab injury timeout.
Yes, we do. And this injury timeout is being brought to you by UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. UPMC Rehabilitation Institute Services. Relief is closer than you think.
I could use some relief.
We might have to go for some relief after this.
It's been
a little long
second half.
Yeah, well, you know,
all these injury timeouts and cramps and
penalties and
timeouts.
Yeah, it's hasn't flown by. That's for sure. Didn't hear the final yet on the Mustangs.
No. Here once again from George's Dental Associates, looking for a dentist. Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown stable, have over 40 years experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. And one of the individuals honored here this evening, Dr. Mallard George.
And we want to tell you that we'll be picking a player of the game after this. It's brought to you by Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides. And also during our post-game show, we'll pick this week's First Federal Savings and Loan Association Greene County Super Play of the Game.
We had that on the opening play, but I don't think we can count it.
No, it does not. It does not count.
Out-of-town scoreboard at the end of regulation, Bell Vernon 14, McKeesport 14.
That's
now preparing for overtime.
Wow,
that's
Bell
an
Vernon
interesting
and
score.
McKeesport 14-14.
It's a good test for
Must
both
be
teams.
A strong squad at McKeesport too. A couple more of our sponsors here. Fayette County's Jack Connors running for district attorney this November, and he's serious about turning the county around. He's going to go after the drug dealers who are pumping fentanyl into the county, insist on maximum sentences for dangerous criminals, escalating sentences for repeat offenders. You can hear from Jack on Mondays at 4:15 right here on WMBS. And here's Uniontown taking over on downs, and nice defensive play in the backfield that time. Trying to pick up a number there.
Jamari Walker, the ball carrier for Uniontown. No gain on the play. Second and 10.
Looked like Christian McMiller.
No, it was Walker.
Walker.
Yep. Looked like
Held it to no gain.
number 30. So Jamari Walker with his first carry of the game.
I'm talking on defense, though. I think it was McMiller or Carrick making the tackle. Who's in for quarterback now for Uniontown? See if we can pick that up.
At least we can see their numbers.
Handoff inside to number 22 for
Number 22, Michael Thomas, the ball carrier.
Thomas.
Thomas Gary. Looks like in there at quarterback is number 12 for Uniontown, and that would be, pick that up. Got too many
number
papers.
12, we got
Outside scoreboard with under a
Cam Dugan.
Yep.
Is freshman getting a little time.
Ooh, Kiski took the lead on Laurel Highlands.
Back and forth game there.
3rd down and 10 for Uniontown at the 43-yard line. Clock under a minute 15 to go, as we did get some time to tick off here with a couple running plays for Uniontown. And now trying to anticipate the count was Beasley, as he just ran right through the line for Uniontown, but that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And they're going to keep that clock moving.
5 yards, 3rd and 5. 57 seconds remaining in the game.
Could be the last play here for Uniontown. Officials being very lenient on allowing the coaches out on the field.
Yes.
Both sides. Jeffries was good 15 yards out on the field to get the play in, and Carrick coaching staff has been similar, trying to make sure they can communicate to those players. We're under 27 seconds to go now. Will they try to throw it deep here, Tone?
No. You're going to see another running play and get it out of the way.
Or we're going to have a penalty.
Yeah. Dugan going to keep it himself.
They didn't call a penalty.
Uh-oh.
Dugan inside the 10. And
He's going to score. 38-yard run.
wow. Line judge let the penalty go. There's clearly emotion on Uniontown. Not called. Dugan goes around the left end and scores from,
38 yards out.
Wow. With 2 seconds remaining on the clock. And I think they let the clock run out because the timing would have got to, 31 points? I don't know why the clock kept running, but it did.
I think it's okay.
They're going to call it off, and that's going to do it. They're not even going to do the extra point. That's strange, too. So our final is going to be Uniontown 45, Carrick 14 from Bill Power Stadium. Gary Frankhauser along with Tony Hanula. We're going to be back with our final statistics and wrapping things up. Post-game activities to be brought to you by
and visit the Albert Gallery Colonial. Please drive home safely.
all of the sponsors here for Uniontown, for the WMBS live game activity, brought to you by the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon.
Just ran off.
Working hard for the residents of South Union Township.
Just ran off.
You just let everybody go off the field and let the final be 45-14. Live Facebook broadcast has been brought to you by the Fayette County Commissioner David Lohr, Reese Warehouse, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Mike Auble for Fayette County District Attorney, Sandy Howe Notary Services, LLC, George Dental Associates, Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke, UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, Fay West Glass Company, Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides, Zen's Construction Warehouse, Peach and Pharmacy, Jack Connor for Fayette County District Attorney, Joby's Golf, SWGI U.S. Digestive Health, Magisterial District Judge Nate Henning, and the Sprouse Insurance Group. You can tune in always to Facebook Live for the Uniontown High School football games next week. Next Friday will be September 15th. And where did you say Uniontown was going next week?
They're going to AG.
Going to AG, so that'll be a crosstown rivalry. It should be a good test for both squads. We're going to have the final statistics here from Tony, but Carrick coming down here kind of shorthanded on a short week for them practice-wise. They showed some glimpses of great athletic ability in the first half with some beautiful passes from Zion Fry to his receiver, speedy receiver out there, Ashton Smith, and actually took a lead late in the first half, 14-13. Uniontown did score late in the first half to go into halftime lead at 19-14, and it was all Uniontown in the second half, putting up a total of 45 points to take that final score to 45-14. Uniontown goes to 2-1 with back-to-back victories against Brownsville and Carrick after the opening season loss to Laurel Highlands. And they will look to try to add on to another victory. But it will be a more difficult task, without a doubt, next week against Albert Gallatin, who has been improving steadily over the last few years. So that will be an interesting game that will be brought to you again on Facebook Live, WMBS, simulcast with the Laurel Highlands game. So you have both games that you can pick up on Facebook Live. Steve Suprick and Brian Rozek, along with myself, Gary Frankhauser, and Tony Anula. Billy Dice on the camera here at Uniontown. Back at WMBS WVU Hospital Studios, Nick Barczyk producing for WMBS. Always doing a great job. Slow-moving second half has us almost 10-10 here on a close to 3-hour game of high school football. A few penalties slowing things down, a few injuries slowing things down. But we got it over with. And Tony's going to have those statistics here momentarily.
We are close. Actually, we're ready.
All right.
All right, for the Uniontown Red Raiders, offensively, Kadrian McClee was 6 for 10 passing for 59 yards. He did throw for 2 touchdowns, one of those a 23-yard touchdown pass to Calvin Winfrey, the other a 26-yard touchdown pass to Malachi Mitchell. Cam Jackson had 1 catch for -2. Calvin Winfrey, 2 catches for 20, and as we mentioned, a touchdown. Notorious Grooms, 2 catches for 15 yards, and Malachi Mitchell with that 1 catch for the 26-yard touchdown. Rushing-wise, Cam Jackson, 21 carries for 136 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was followed by Kadrian McClee, who had 7 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown. Michael Thomas had 2 carries for 3 yards. Cam Dugan on that last play of the game, a 38-yard scamper for a touchdown. Nick Torbush, 1 carry for -3. Notorious Grooms, 1 carry for 10. And Jamari Walker with 1 carry for no yards. Offensively, the Red Raiders ran 44 offensive plays. They had 34 rushes for 267 yards. They were 6 of 10 passing for 59 yards, a total of 326 yards of total offense. 9 penalties for 85 yards. They racked up 13 first downs, and they only had 1 turnover, and that was the fumble early in the first quarter by Kadrian McClee. For the Carrick Raiders, They were led by Zion Fry. He had nine completions and 16 attempts for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both of those going to Ashton Smith, one for 52 yards, the other for 50 yards. Smith ended up with 3 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tamir Beasley had 2 catches for 16. Marcus Fields, 3 catches for 34. And Stephen Malloy, 1 catch for 4 yards. On the rushing end, not very good for Carrick. Carrick had -3 yards rushing. They were led, though, by Stephen Malloy had 5 carries for 14 yards. Tamir Beasley had 4 carries for 29 yards. Isaiah Turner Phillips had 1 carry for no yards. And Zion Fry, 7 carries for -46 yards. Offensively, 33 offensive plays for Carrick, 17 rushes for -3 yards, 9 for 16 passing, 163 yards for a total 160 yards of offense, 8 penalties for 50 yards, only 4 first downs in the game, and the big thing was they did have 3 turnovers. So that's the difference in the game. And the Uniontown Red Raiders with a 45-14 victory.
Another fine job on those statistics, Tony.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap things up here from Bill Powers Stadium with our final once again. Uniontown 45, Carrick 14 for Gary Frankhauser, Tony Anola, Billy Dice on the camera. Wishing you a very pleasant good evening. Good night, everyone.